Alright, I'm back with a new video. This video I'll go through the Addmaths paper. This is the Terengganu Trial 2025 paper 2. Yeah, I already did the paper 1. This time I'm doing the paper 2. So this is SPM 2025, Terengganu Mathematik Tambahan Addmaths Kertas 2. Alright, okay, so I will start now. Oh, and also subscribe to my channel if you find my video useful. And if you want more, hit the subscribe button as well. Okay, let's go. Alright, bahagian A, number 1. Find the gradient of tangent of the curve y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 4 when x equals 1. Alright, this is definitely from 5 chapter 2 lah. Yeah, because gradient tangent, right? The differentiation chapter. Dalam bahasa Melayu, pembezaan. Alright, how do you find the gradient tangent? Alright, you find it by finding the dy dx. So whenever they want to find gradient tangent or gradient curve, yeah, they all mean the same thing. It means you have to do dy dx, right? So the equation of curve is this. So what you do is you find the dy dx and then sub the x1 inside after you dy dx. Okay. All right. So let's do the dy dx first. All right. Differentiate negative x squared is negative 2x. Because when you differentiate, you take the power times with the number in front here and then power minus 1. So 2 times negative 1, negative 2, power minus 1, x power 2 minus 1 is x power 1. Differentiate 2x, that's just 2, and then differentiate 4 is 0. So this is what we call the gradient function. Okay, yeah, we call it gradient function, or you can say it's the gradient curve. But if you want to find gradient tangent, you need to sub the x coordinate of the tangent point inside. So they already say x equals 1, so you just sub inside. So negative 2x plus 2, and the x you ganti 1. And the moment you ganti that inside, we call it empty. Yeah, we call it empty. Empty is gradient tangent. So now you just calculate this. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0, and yeah, that's the answer. Okay, let's do B. Differentiate y equals square root 17 plus 3x power 6 with respect to x. So y equals, okay, when you differentiate, if before you differentiate, kalau boleh expand, you expand dulu. If you can expand, kembang, you kembang dulu. So this one, power 6, definitely I cannot expand. But square root is actually power 1 over 2. So we can write it like this, 17 plus 3x, power 6, and then big bracket, power 1 over 2. Yeah, square root is power 1 over 2. And we all know when the power side by side like this, we can take the two power, both power, and then times. Yeah, times, not plus, times. So it becomes 17 plus 3x. All right, what is 6 times 1 over 2? 6 divided 2, which is power 3. But of course, need to have the bracket. Okay, now we can try to differentiate this. And now, can I expand this? Can also, but it's going to be 3 bracket, right? Usually, if it's power 2, then only we will expand, right? So if it's power 3 or like power yang bukan 2 lah, okay, usually it's not power 2, power yang bukan 2, usually I won't expand. I will use another method to differentiate, and it's called the chain rule. Okay, it's called the chain rule. So what's the chain rule? The chain rule is like this. The dy dx will be, you straight away take the power, you straight away times with the number in front here. Okay, but there's no number here, right? So it will be 1 lah. So 3 times 1 will be 3, and then the whole bracket, you write it 17 plus 3x, and then the power minus 1 become 2, right? But when you do the chain rule, you have to do one more extra step, which is you have to differentiate the bracket inside. Differentiate bracket dalam sekali lagi. So differentiate 17 is 0, differentiate 3x is 3, and then you have to write here and multiply it later. Okay, this is what we call a chain rule. Okay, okay, when will we use the product rule? The UV method, the UV formula. When will we use the product rule? Okay, when you have x here. Because let's say when there's x here, or maybe there's another bracket that has x inside, then you cannot do like that. Then you cannot use this chain rule method. Because if there's x here, or maybe there's another bracket with the x inside, it means this 3 cannot go here. For that kind of question, you have to use the product rule lah. So salin U differentiate V tambah salin V differentiate U. Yeah, that's the product rule. Okay, but for this one, tak ada X depan, right? That's why I can do it like that. So this one is 3 just now. Okay, the single term and the single term we can times together. So 3 times 3 is 9. So this one is 17 plus 3x squared. Right? And that's your answer. You shouldn't expand. You shouldn't expand this. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Because when you differentiate, you want your answer to be factorized completely. So, don't expand it, just leave it like that, right? So that's the answer. All right, that's all for my question 1. Okay, let's do question 2. First of all, let's see what chapter first. All right, listing out all the terms of sequence is not accepted. All right, this is definitely from 4 chapter 5, the progression chapter. the janjang. How I know so fast is because they say listing out all terms sequence is not accepted. So it's definitely progression. Yeah. Okay, let's read the whole question now. Diagram 1 shows a roll of wallpaper. All right, I can see it. This is a roll of wallpaper. It's like a tissue roll, right? But it's not a tissue, huh? It's a wallpaper, right? So it's like the rectangle wallpaper lah. And diagram 2 shows a cube. All right. So cube usually all sides should be sama panjang. So they already give you its x here, so it should be all x also. Yeah, everything x. Okay. All right, the wallpaper is divided into 20 pieces with their length, form, and arithmetic progression. All right, let's look at the diagram. So as you can see, they got put dash line here, dotted lines, right? So I guess these dotted lines is where they divide the wallpaper. So this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. And as you can see, the size is not the same, right? So the wallpaper is divided into 20 pieces. All right, so there's 20, 20, 20 of these with their length, form, and arithmetic progression. So I think the length they're talking about is this length right here, lah, because you can see the length is actually increasing, right? So the second length is actually longer than the first one, and then the third one is longer than the second one. So the length actually form an arithmetic progression. But what about the width of the wallpaper? The width never change. It's 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. The only thing that changed is the length. So actually we can form a progression using the length, right? But we still don't know what is the length here. They never tell us how many cm, but it's okay. Let's just keep reading first. But we do know that the n is 20. Yeah, there's 20 terms or 20 length. Yeah. So if we list out the progression, there's only 20 terms. That's the only thing we know now. Okay, now let's keep reading. Given that the sum of length of three shortest pieces is 96 cm. Oh, the length of three shortest piece is 96 cm. It means this one plus this one plus this one, right? So it means S3. Yeah, it means S3 equals to 96. Yeah, because when you write the progression, you write it using the length here, here. This is your first term, this is your second term, this is your third term. So if the sum of length of three shortest piece is 96, it means the S3 96. And then the length of the longest piece is 284. Okay, the longest piece will be the last one, right? Yeah, because the first one is the shortest length, second one is the second is like longer a bit, and then the third one is like lagi longer. So if you want the longest piece, it will be the T20. Not S20, yeah, just the T20 because this only the length of longest piece. So equals to 284 like that, right? So now we have two information here. Find the length of a roll of wallpaper. So I think what they want is the length from here until the last 20, like the total length, right? So if they want the length of the whole roll of wallpaper, I need to find the S20 because I'm actually finding the length of the first plus with the length of second plus with third plus with fourth until the length of the 20th rectangle. Okay, so before I find the S20, I need to find my AD first. Because if I find S20 now, I can't find it because the SN formula requires A and D, and you don't even have that, right? But they did give us two information. One is S3, one is T20. So what I'm gonna do now is I will do simultaneous equation to find the AD, right? Just remember, whenever the soalan give you two information, it's always doing the simultaneous one, right? So what I will do for S3, okay, I'll write the formula. For Tn formula, arithmetic is A plus n minus 1d. For Sn formula, it will be n over 2 big bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. So what do you think I will do here? I'll do the Sn formula lah, n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. But there's another method. If you don't want to use the Sn, you can also use the Tn formula. Because S3 is basically what? It's basically T1 plus T2 plus T3, right? Yeah, so you can do that also. Okay, and then T1 is just gonna be A, okay, A plus n minus 1d, but your n is 1, right? That's why 1 minus 1 is 0, so 0d, we don't write the 0. So T1 is basically just A. And then T2 will be A plus 2 minus 1d, which is A plus 1d. So A plus d lah. And then T3 will be A plus 3 minus 1d, which is A plus 2d, like that, equals to 96. Okay, all right, so this is another way to do it. Okay, of course, if you want to do the Sn formula, can also. Can also. All right, so what is A plus A plus A? 3A. And then what is 1D plus 2D? 3D equals to 96. So that is your first equation. But wait, this equation can simplify. All these numbers here can divide by 3. So let's do that. Divide 3 is A, divide 3 is D, divide 3 is 32. So there you have it. That's your first equation. Okay, but there's two unknowns. You don't have your AD, but it's okay. I will just stop here. Now I will do for T20 pula. Right? I will do for T20. Okay, so they say T20 is 284. So now we can use the Tn formula again. So this one is A plus 20 minus 1D, which is A plus 19D. And they say it's equals to 284. And there you have it. That's your second equation. Okay, now you can do simultaneous, right? You can do substitution method or elimination method. But since the A and D is already, the position is already sama, the susunan A, D number on the other side, A, D number on the other side. So I think I can just do the elimination, penghapusan. Because I can hapuskan A, right? Yeah, because A can minus. So I'll straight away minus, and then A minus A is 0. 1D minus 19D is negative 18D. 32 minus 284, that's going to be negative 252. And then negative 252 divide 18, you get 14. Alright, but this is your D only. I would need my A also because later I'm planning to find S20. So how do you find A? You can substitute back into equation 1 or equation 2. Either one lah. I'll start into equation 1. So I'll write here when D equals 14, A plus D is 32. So So A plus, for the D I will open bracket, equals 32, and then the D is 14. So your A will be 32 minus 14 lah, which is 18. Okay, but it's not over yet. The soalan asks for the length of roll of wallpaper, which means they want the S20. Okay, because the roll of wallpaper means that after you pull out the whole roll. Okay, so it's like the here plus here plus here plus here and so on, right? But we already know the length here is 18 because that's your first term, right? Or you can say the first length. The second length will be 18 plus 14, which is 32, right? And then 32 plus with the next one. Let me press calculator. 32 plus 14. All right, it will be 46, right? That's your third length. And then if you want to find the length of roll of wallpaper, you're basically taking 18 plus 32 plus 46 until the last term, plus until the last term, right? So you're finding S20 lah. Okay, this one you have to use the SN formula. So I got right up here just now. So it's N over 2, but your N is 20, so 20 over 2. Big bracket 2A, so your A is 18, plus N minus 1, which is 20 minus 1, 19D. Okay, your D is 14. Okay, from here, right? Okay, now you can tekan all this. 20 divided 2 is 10. 18 times 2 is 36. 19 times 14, that's going to be, I don't know, 19 times 14, 266. And then 266 plus 36 is 302. And then times 10, 3020 lah. Okay, but don't forget this represents the length of roll of wallpaper, and everything is in cm, I remember. So this should be in cm also. So the total length of the roll of wallpaper for all the 20 length is 3020 lah. So in other words, the 20 length all add together is 3020. Okay. All right. Hope you understand. Now it's time to do B. So let me scroll down. So B says if the fourth piece of wallpaper is used to wrap the cube in diagram 2, find the range of values of x. Okay, what's the meaning of fourth piece? It means this one, the right after the third one, the fourth piece, right? But we all know the length for this is different, okay? But it will have the same height. Yeah, because the height, or you can say the width, the lebar of the rectangle, all same one. They never change. The length is changing, right? And they say this piece is used to wrap the cube. So can you tell me, usually when you wrap the cube, usually you find what? Perimeter? No, right? You don't find perimeter when you wrap something. You usually take the surface area. Do you agree? Yeah, the luas permukaan. Because when you wrap something, you want to make sure that the surface area, the luas permukaan, is enough to cover all the surface here. Yeah, because when you wrap something, you usually find surface area, right? And then they say find the range of values of x. All right, this is interesting because they never say find values of x. They said find range. Okay, whenever you see the word range, usually that means your answer will have bigger or smaller, or bigger equals or smaller or equals. Yeah, because range means julat. So Juliet usually means that your answer will have this kind of symbol, right? So first thing I will do is I will find the area for the fourth piece of rectangle first. Yeah, that's the first thing I will do. Find the area. Okay, find the area first. Because they say they use the fourth piece wallpaper to wrap. So I need to know the fourth piece rectangle punya size. Okay, the fourth piece rectangle punya size. I know the width is 50, but I need to know the length. Okay, because I want to find area. So how to find the length is very simple. Just find T4. Just find T4 because your first three terms is this one. So your length of the fourth one will be T4. So you will do A plus N minus 1D. A is 18. N minus 1 is 3. D is 14. So 18 plus 3 times 14. Let's press 60. All right, 60 is the length, 60 cm. Huh? Or you can also say just take 46 plus 14 also can, right? Yeah, because it's right after 46. So you just put 46 plus D, you get the same also. All right, so now I know the length here is 60 cm, but I told you wrapping means you need to find the area. Okay, you need to find the area. So I'm going to find the area of this rectangle now. Area equals 50 times 60. And you will get 300 cm square. Okay, but it's not over yet because this is the area of the wallpaper. Okay, the fourth piece of the wallpaper. Okay, but it's used to wrap the cube, right? So I think I need to find out the total surface area for the cube, right? Yeah, total surface area of cube. So what I'll do now is I'll write TSA. TSA stands for total surface area. Jumlah luas permukaan. So for cube, the one surface is x times x. If you're trying to find one surface, okay, because it's just a square, so x times x, so it will be x squared. But there is 6 sides, okay, so the total surface area is 6x squared. Yeah. So it's like the area for one surface is x squared, but you have depan, belakang, atas, bawah, kiri, kanan, 6 sides. So it's 6 times x squared like that, right? Now, how do you find the range of values of x? So what you will do is you will take your TSA has to be less than or equal 3,300. Wait, it's 3,000. I made a mistake here. 50 times 60 is 3,000. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this one is 3,000. Yeah. Okay, so let me continue from here. Your total surface area is has to be less than or equals 3,000. You know why? Because the total surface area of cube, yeah lah, it should be less than the thing lah. Because if it's more than, then the paper cannot wrap already. But they say here the fourth piece of wallpaper is used to wrap. So that means the area of the wallpaper has to be more than, yeah, the area of the wallpaper, which is 3,000, has to be more than the total surface area of the cube. Otherwise, the paper is not enough because this 3,000 is the area of paper or wallpaper, right? So the wallpaper has to be in more than the total surface area of cube. That means the total surface area of cube has to be less than lah, or equals to 3,000. Faham kan? Yeah, the thing that you're trying to wrap needs to have a smaller surface area compared to the paper you use to wrap. Yeah, otherwise yeah, it's not the if the wallpaper is not big enough, how you supposed to wrap it, right? Yeah, so that's why it's like that. Now the TSA is 6x squared, so 6x squared is smaller or equals 3,000. Okay, so now I will actually do it like this. You can pin out a 6. You're trying to find x, so 3,000 divided 6 is 500. Okay, a lot of students, they will do it like this. They will say pin out the square, right? But I don't recommend to do it like that because this is an inequality and it's a quadratic inequality, right? And we all know if it's quadratic inequality, let's say it's like that, right? You can't just do like that, plus minus square root 4 and then x smaller than 2, x smaller than negative 2. This is wrong, by the way. This is wrong, okay? The correct way to do it is actually when it's a quadratic inequality, you have to pin out the 4 like that, and then like that, and then x minus 2, x plus 2, and then x equals 2, x equals negative 2, and then do the graph sketching method, right? Because it's a quadratic inequality, right? But if this one is equal, if this one is equal, then I think doing it like that is fine, if it's equal, right? But when it's inequality, like other smaller, bigger, and also when it's quadratic, usually it will be, yeah, the working will get complicated. So that's why I will not pin out the square jadi square root like that. So what I'll do instead is I will pin out the 500 here. I'll pin out the 500 here, make it general form like that, everything on one side and then 0 on the other side. And then I will factorize like that. But the problem with the 500 is you can't factorize because just now this one is x squared minus 4, right? If x squared minus 4, 4 can change to 2 square. So it becomes a squared minus b square. You can change to a minus b, a plus b, right? The differences in square. But it has to be both number also got square and then minus lah. Then baru you boleh buat macam ni. That's why the 4 can change to 2 square and then I open 2 bracket. But the problem is 500 is not a perfect square. So we cannot do it like that. So what we have to do instead is you have to use the quadratic formula. Yeah, because for this, the x answer later will be answer is a not good looking answer. It won't be a good looking answer. Yeah, it would be like decimal, and the decimal answer you can't change to fraction. That's why I said it's not won't be a good looking answer. So that's why you have to use the quadratic formula, right? Oh, sorry. So what I will do now, I will do the quadratic formula. Okay. Yeah. So I will make some space and then I will start to use the quadratic formula. So for the smaller equals, I will change to equal for now. Yeah, I'll just change to equal for now. Okay, just for a moment. And then now I'll use the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Right? We use this method when the quadratic equation cannot be solved using factorization. When it's like when it's not a good looking answer. Okay, when the answer you cannot change to fraction, that's when have to use this formula. Okay, the b is 0, right? Because there's no x here. And then the a is number before x squared, which is 1, 1. And then c is negative 500. And after you're done, you can solve for this. Okay, negative 0 is just going to be 0. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus minus. Okay, so plus minus square root. 0 square is 0 also. 0 times negative 4. I mean, 0 minus, minus 4 is negative 4 times negative 4, 500 is negative 2000. Wait, what? No, 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 no. Sorry. Sorry. Uh, 0 square is 0. And then negative 4 times negative 500 is plus 2000. So this will be positive 2000. Yeah, that's why I was like weird a bit. Because if the number inside the square root is negative, then it becomes no roots already. Because you can't square root negative number. Yeah. So your b square minus 4ac here cannot be negative. If it's negative means there's no answer. Okay, but it's positive lah. Alright, now it's time to press calculator. There's two answers. One is square root 2000 divided 2. Another one is negative square root 2000 divided 2. So what is square root 2000 divided 2? Use calculator. Alright, I'll write in decimal. So 22.36. That's the first one. But there's another one. Negative square root 2000 divided 2. Let me press. Okay, I got it. Negative 22.36. Okay, so that is the next answer. All right, I will write rejected here. And the reason is very simple because x is the length of the cube, right? You remember it's the side of cube, right? So how can the side of cube be negative? So this is the answer lah. But wait, hold on a minute. You remember just now uh we actually we actually change the inequality sign to equal, right? And we have to do the graph sketching method now actually. Yeah, because it's an inequality, right? Okay, so I need space. Wait. Okay, so what I will do now, after I finish here, I need space here, and then I will do the graph sketching method. Okay. Yeah, for quantity inequality, we will do this method, right? And then here I'll write the small number, which is negative 22.36, but I know I will reject this part later, but it's okay, just do it. Do the full thing now first. And then here is 22.36. And for the shading part, you look at the sign, right? Yeah, if the sign is smaller, you have to shade here, bawah middle, right? So that's your answer. X has to be in between 22.36 and negative 22.36 in between. Okay, and they got put equal here, right? So you also have to put equal. Okay, but the problem with this is x cannot have negative because x is the side of cube. So what I will do is I will ignore this side. I will just write x smaller equals 22.36. Yeah, I will just ignore the negative. Yeah, this one just reject. Okay, let me tell you why. So what this means? This means that your x has to be in between negative 22.36 and 22.36. It means it has to be bigger than negative 22.36, but smaller than 22.36 at the same time. But since your x cannot have negative 1, so you can just ignore everything here. Just ignore everything that is, ignore all the value that is bigger than negative 22.36, which is negative 21, negative 20, negative 19, negative 18, 17, 16. Yeah, you get the idea lah. You ignore all that, you reject all that. But you have to take all the answer that is smaller or equals 22.36. Because those are positive integers, those are answer that you have to include. That is why your answer will just be left with this x smaller equals 22.36. Right? The x bigger than negative 22.36 answer we don't take because that's all negative value. Okay, so hope you get it. So this is how I would do it. All right, I will leave it at that and let's continue. Okay, let's do number 3, A. So what chapter is this? Square root. So this one is from chapter 4. Indices, surd, and logarithm. Okay. Solve the equation 9 minus 4 square root 3 equals 3 plus 2 square root m and write the answer in the form of m equals a plus b squared root 3, where with a and b are integers. Okay, integers means the a and b value will not be a decimal, no fraction, like that. Yeah, integers, no decimal, no fraction. Okay, it's just a number. Okay, okay, but before that, what is the meaning of solve? Solve means you find the unknown. You find the unknown. So there's only one unknown inside this equation, which is m. So you will try to find m. And they already say they want your answer in this form. M equals a plus b squared root 3. So we want to write in this form lah. Okay, this kind of question is very popular in the exam. Yeah, I do so many trial paper, they always ask like that. And usually you need to rationalize. Rationalize means when there's square root at the denominator, you have to times with the conjugate cert to get rid of the square root, right? Yeah, this one comes out a lot. All right, so let me tell you how you find the m. Very simple. Just pinna the 3, and then pinna the 2, and then pinna the square root all to the other side, then you finish it, right? So I will write that whole thing, but I will write it a bit different. I'll write the 3 plus 2 square root m here, and then 9 minus 4 square root 3, right? It's just the same thing. I just change the side, okay? Yeah, it's the same. Because I'm trying to find m, that's why I try to make my m on the left side. Okay, now I'll pinna the 3. So this one plus 3, pinna jadi minus 3. So the 9 will minus with 3, we become 6. Minus 4 square root 3. Done. Now pinna the 2, but the 2 is times 2, right? So you pinna jadi divide 2. So both term also have to divide 2, divide 2. So 6 divide 2 will be 3. And then the 4 will divide 2 with 2, and then the square root 3 just right beside. Okay. And the final step is square root, hantar jadi square. So become 3 minus 2 square root 3, everything bracket square. So now I just have to expand this, then I get the answer already. So this question actually don't even need to rationalize. Yeah, because there's no fraction. There's no fraction and there's no square root at the denominator. So we don't need to do that. Just expand this, then we are done already. Okay, the way to expand this is like this. When you have a minus b square, when you expand, you get a square minus 2ab plus b square. Of course, you can do it slowly. The slow way is like that. A times negative b, like that. If you do like that, you will get this also. Okay, yeah. But usually I will just do it fast, right? How I do it fast is by applying this. So your a is 3, right? So first step is 3 square, which is 9. And then next step is negative 2 times ab. So I will find out the ab first. So a times b is 3 times negative 2 square root 3, which is 3 negative 6. Okay, yeah, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 square root 3. But I have to times 2. So negative 12 square root 3. Yeah, that's the negative 2ab. Okay. Wait, correct. 3 times, yeah, correct. And then the last one is b square, which is negative 2 square root 3 square. Okay, negative 2 square, you get positive 4. But the square root 3 also have to square, you get 3. Yeah, because square root 3 squares, yes. Square root a square is a, right? So square root 3 square is 3. But I have to put bracket lah. Okay, now you're done with this. Now your m will be 9 plus 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 9 is 21 minus 12 square root 3. Right? Okay, this is your answer. I don't think there's anything else you can do. Of course, you can factorize 21 and 12. You can take out 3, right? But I don't think you will do that because they already said they want your answer in this form. And I don't see any bracket here, right? I don't see any bracket here. I just see number plus number square root 3. A plus b square root 3. So number plus number square root 3. So your a is 21 lah, and your b is negative 12. Yeah, so they want your answer in this form, and my answer is already in this form. So that is your answer. I'm done. Okay. All right. Now we can continue for B. So I'll just do it here. So given that log 3 base a equals to x. So this one is information. Log 2 base a is y, another information. Express log 18 over a power 3 base a in terms of x and y. All right. This is the question. So I will write this down. Log base a 18 over a power 3. Okay, when we are doing log question or maybe indices question, indices or log question, doesn't matter. We always want to check the base first. Always we want to make sure it's same base. If it's not same base, try to make it same base. Try your best to make it same base, right? So first thing is check the base. If the base is not the same, you have to stop everything. You can't do anything. You have to change base. Okay, if you look at the base here, this one is base A. And what's the information? The information given is also log base A. That means the log base is already correct. I don't need to change the base anymore. Okay, I can just focus on what's inside here, right? Okay, what's inside here? 18 over a cube. But this one is log 3 base A, log 2 base A. But the one I have here is 18 over a cube. So what I can do, I will try my best to change the inside number so that it becomes 3, 2, or A. because log A base A is 1. Don't forget, walaupun even though they give us two information, but there's actually one more hidden information because log AA is 1. Because log AA you can, how to say, cut jadi 1. Okay? So I tell you one more time, what's the plan? I will change the inside. Yeah, because the log base A is already same with the information, right? The only thing that's not same is the thing inside here. So I'll try my best to change the thing inside here so that it becomes 3 or 2 or A. Any of this is good because we will have the information, right? Because you want to answer in terms of x, y, ma. So of course you want to change it to this or this or this lah, right? Okay, so I think I know how already. 18 can change to what? Okay, 18 I don't have. I only have 3, 2, right? So, but I know 18 can divide by 3, right? So 3 times 6 is 18 like that, right? But the 6 I don't have. Then I pecah lagi lah. 6 I pecah lagi. So 6 is 3 times what? 3 times 2. And this is good because I have 3 and 2. So later when I separate because later the single log I will separate it, become separate log. That, and when I do that, later I will have everything here already. Okay. Okay, I will write it a little bit different. 3 times 3 times 2, I'll write it like this. 3 square times 2. It's the same lah, but I prefer writing it like that. Okay, 3 square times 2. 3 times 3 is 3 square. And then over with the a cube. Okay, the a cube is fine already because we know log AA is 1. Okay. But sir, what about the cube, the power? The power is in the way. It's okay. Later the power can pindah depan. Yeah, the power can letak depan. But you don't letak now, You don't go and put the 3 in front here now. No, no, no. Now cannot. You know now cannot why? You know why cannot now? Because you can see now is single log and everything is like mixed up together. Everything is jumbled up together. So when everything is jumbled up together, you cannot pindah the power. Okay, yeah, you cannot hantar the power depan. What you have to do now is you have to separate everything. You have to pecahkan everything. So single log times separate log plus, single log divide separate log minus. Yeah, you learn this in law of logarithm, right? Log a mn, you can pecah jadi log am plus log an. And then log am over n, when you separate, it becomes log am minus log an. The way I teach is I always tell my students single log times separate log plus, single log divide separate log minus. That's how I always teach my students. So single log, okay, now it's single, right? But you have times and divide. So the times later become plus lah. So it become log a 3. Now the power 2 later can be another part. Okay, but later I letak lah. And then times become plus. And then log a2. Okay. And then divide become minus. So single log divide separate log minus. So minus log a power 3 like that. Okay. But now I will erase the 3, hantar depan, and then the 2 also I can hantar depan already. The reason now is because everything is pecah already, everything is separate already. So now the power can hantar depan lah. Okay, now you have your answer already. 2 and then log a3 you can refer here is x, and then log a2 refer the information here y, and then minus 3 times log aa, which is 1. But 3 times 1 is 3, so we can ignore that. Yeah, just write minus 3. Okay. Yeah, so this is how I would do it. All right, that's all. Okay, number 4, I will do it up here. So what chapter is this? You see chord, you see sine. Yeah, you know it's from 5 chapter 6 already, the trigonometric function. Okay, usually students don't like this kind of proving question. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Usually when students see proving, they will just give up. They will just say like, yeah, cannot do lah, very susah lah, ini lah, itu lah. Okay, but that's just because you are not familiar with the formula. Okay, you're not familiar with the formula. That's why you think it's difficult. Okay, it's okay. I'll write down the question first. Hot square x. Okay, before I do it, let's look at the question first. So this is the left hand side. This is the right hand side. LHS, RHS. So when you do proving question for this kind of proving trigonometry question, you want to start from the more complicated side. You want to start from the more complicated side. What do I mean by that? It means it's better to start with the side that looks more complicated, because if it's more complicated means more things I can do. There's more possible ways for me to change. Okay. Yeah. But if I start from the simple side, then it's very difficult, because if you start from the simple side, very few things you can do with it if it's already simplified. You faham kan? But if it's complicated, then I can simplify it myself. Okay. So which side is more complicated, the left or right? The left, because cot x you can change to cos over sine, and then cot square you can also change to cos over sine, but at the same time you got square, so you can use basic identity formula, right? But if you start from right hand side, it's bad, because right hand side It's 3 sine 2x. Okay, you can use double angle. Sine 2x can use double angle, but that's the only thing. Okay, sine 2x can change to 2 sine x cos x, but that's the only thing you can do, right? So I've decided that the left hand side is the more complicated side. So it's better to start from the left hand side. Yeah, it's always better to start from the more complicated side. So I write down here left hand side, and then what I'll do is equal, 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 and I'll try my best to change so that it ends up being same with the right hand side. Okay, okay. Before I start from the left hand side, I want to look at my right hand side also, because right hand side is 3 sine 2x, and we all know sine 2x is what? 2 sine x cos x. Yeah, this is the double angle formula. And we all know 3 times 2 becomes 6 sine x cos x. So what I will do now is I'll try my best to change this so that it becomes 6 sine x cos x. That's the plan now. Okay. Because if I can change to 6 sine x cos x, then I can take out 3. I can divide by 3. Then it becomes this. And once it becomes this, then then it can become 3 sine 2x already. Right? Alright, so this is my answer. 6 sine x cos x. Okay. Okay, but we have to show them the working lah. Okay, first thing first, if we want our answer to be 6 sine x cos x, of course we want sine and cos, right? But now it's like cot. Okay, cot. So what we can do with the cot, use this formula. Cot is cos over sine. Okay, cos over sine. Okay, this cot dia tak ada square, so dia tak ada square, dia tak ada 2x, so we cannot use basic identity or double angle. But we can do this. So it becomes 6 cos x over sine x. Bracket over. Okay, 1 plus cot square. This one cot square, you have two options. You can either change to cos square over sine square. Yeah, because I just told you, right, cot is cos over sine. But there's a square here. That's why the cos and sine also you have to put square. Another option is use the basic identity formula. Alright, what's the basic identity formula? 1 plus cot square equals to cosec square. Yeah, this is one of the basic identity formula you learn, right? So cot square can actually change to cosec square. This one can pindah jadi cosec square minus 1. Minus 1, right? So you have two options here. Which one you want to choose? Okay, I'll tell you something. Both also can. Both also can. If you change to this one, you will also end up getting the answer. If you change to this one also, you end up getting the answer, right? But me, I will choose the easier one. And the easier one is this, cosec square minus 1. So I'll just open a bracket, cosec square minus 1. Let me tell you why I think this one is the easier one. If you change to this one, can also. Okay, but I don't like it because you have fraction atas, fraction bawah, so dia sudah jadi macam 4 tingkat. That's why I didn't do it like that. And also, if I change to this, it's good because cosec is actually 1 over sine. I want my answer to have sine and cos. So later I can change to 1 over sine, and then the 1 minus 1 can potong also become 0. Yeah, and then divide 1 over sine is just times sine. So I think later I can cut, and then I will end up with the 6 sine x cos x. Yeah, so I plan ahead lah. I try to, how to say, strategy and think about what's the, like what working will be like more simple. So it's this one. So now it becomes like 6 cos x over 1 minus 1 is 0, and this will be cosec square x, right? Okay, now I will do what? You don't tell me you go and use the basic identity formula again. Cosec square change to 1 plus cot square. No, don't do that. If you do that, then you reverse balik to reverse balik to here already. 1 plus cot square. Okay, so that's not helping at all. What we have to do now is, instead of changing using the basic identity, I will change the cosec to 1 over sine. So it becomes 6 cos x. Okay, the divide I'll write like this. Yeah, I will use the sekolah rendah punya cara tulis divide, because I know this will be a fraction later. So it becomes like that, 1 over sine square x. Okay. So kenapa you buat macam tu? Because I know 6 cos x divides 1 over sine is times sine square. Eh, I forgot something lah, guys. This one is not, sorry. This one is 6 cos x over sine x, right? I missed out the sine x. It's just a careless mistake. So it should be 6 cos x over sine x over cos x square. So it becomes, okay, here also wrong already. Okay, you wait for me. Alright, so this one should be 6 cos x over sine x, like that. Yeah, that's the numerator. And then this one is also 6 cos x over sine x. The whole thing atas here lah. But you have to over with cosec square. That's why I write divide 1 over sine square, which is same with times sine square over x. Yeah, because divide 1 over sine square x means times sine square x over 1. Okay, but over 1 tak payah tulis. Now you can cut, yeah, this sine and the sine square, right? Okay, but you don't cut it For proving question, you don't cut it. You just cut in your head. So after you cut, you left with what? 6 times cos x times sin x, which is 6 sin x cos x. And we all know this is what we want, right? But you cannot write proven yet. Yeah, it's not proven yet. You have to make sure it's exactly 3 sin 2x. So what you have to do? Divide by 3, right? Oh my god. What? Wait. So what you have to do? Let's make some space. So what you have to do now? Divide by 3, eh? Yeah. Yeah, because when you divide by 3, you left with 2 sin x cos x, but the 3 have to write beside outside the bracket like that. Okay, and after you reach here, it becomes 3. Okay, for the 2 sin x cos x, that's the double angle for sin 2x, so can change to sin 2x. Okay, yeah, this is the 2 sin x cos x can change to sin 2x. Yeah, this is the double angle formula that you learn. Okay, and after you are done, now finally you can write the word proven. So this is your left hand side. Sorry, right hand side. Right hand side. I start from the left hand side just now, so I end up with my right hand side, so I can write proven. Yeah, so this is how I would do it. All right, 3 marks for this. Okay, whatever, I'll take it. Okay, so that's all. So that's it. Okay, let's do B. So B says, hence solve the equation 6 cot x over 1 plus cot square equals 3 square root 3 over 2 for 0 until 2 pi. Give the answer in terms of pi. It means they want to answer in terms of radian lah. In terms of pi, it means in radian. Okay, this type of question is they want you to find the x, the angle lah. Means x is the angle, right? But I want you to look at this because this one, don't you realize it's very familiar? Yeah, it's very familiar, right? Because look at the last question. 6 cot x over 1 plus cot square. And just now I did all the proving, right? That's why it's so familiar. Because this one and this one is same, right? So that means I can change this whole thing to 3 sine 2x equals to 3 square root 3 over 2. So now it looks better. Now it looks more simple. Now it's like more easy to do already. So how to find the x? Well, you pin out the 3 first. So when you pin out 3, the whole thing divide 3, you just end up getting square root 3 over 2. Because the 3 cut already lah. Okay, now it's time to find x. Okay, the way to do this kind of question is you have to tekan shift sign, right? But a lot of students, they will just tekan shift sign and then they will write 2x equals, they write the answer here and then just take this one divide 2. This is the wrong way to do it. This is the wrong way to do it. What's the correct way? The correct way is to write RA here. Because when you tekan shift sign, the calculator will only give you the answer in quadrant 1. Yeah, it's not the whole answer, it's just quadrant 1. Okay. So you can tekan dulu shift sign square root 3 over 2. But I think I know the answer because I pernah hafal for this. It's 60. Okay. Yeah. This is one of the special angle answer. Square root 3 over 2. So it's 60 lah. But you can press also in the exam. Okay. Okay, let me tell you why I write RA. Because this 60 is not complete. Yeah, there's still another answer. So you have to consider the quadrant. Add sugar to coffee. So your sign answer now is positive. So it will be in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. That is why here you have to consider that quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. But your calculator will always give you the answer in quadrant 1 only. Right? That's why when you tekan shift sign, they bagi 60. But 60 is not the whole thing. It's just the quadrant 1 answer. So you have to write 2x will be the first quadrant, which is 60. But there's another one at quadrant 2. And how do you convert quadrant 1 to quadrant 2? 180 minus. From 1 to 3 is 180 plus. And then from 1 to 4 is 360 minus. Okay, but I want to convert to 2, so 180 minus, so you get 120. So these are all the answers for 1x. But now you can see they write 2x. Okay, 2x here means dua pusingan. It means you have to take all your answers, tambah 360 satu kali. Yeah, tambah 360. Because 2x, you have to find out the answer for the second pusingan. Okay? So 60 plus 360 is 420. 120 plus 360 is 480. Okay, then what about 3x? What if this one is 3x? Then there will be 6 answers. You will take this tambah 360 again, like that. Okay, but this one is 2x, so you just have to take all your answer, tambah 360 one time. So that's all. Now everything divide 2, then finish already. So 30 divide 2, 60 divide 2, 210 divide 2, 240. Okay, but hold on. They want the answer in terms of pi. If they want in terms of pi means definitely they want to convert to radian. Okay. Okay, how do you convert to radian? Okay, from degree to radian, the method is you times pi over 180. But I will not press the pi because they want in terms of pi. So I will just tekan 30. Okay, like that 30 times pi over 180. But I will just tekan 30 divide 180. The pi I won't tekan because I want the pi to be, I want it to be in terms of pi. So just tekan 30 divided 180, which is 106. So that's your first answer, 106 pi. Second answer, 60, same thing. I will just tekan 60 divide 180. I will not tekan the times pi. So 60 divided 180 is 103. So the second answer is 103 pi. Or you want to write pi over 3 also can. Same thing. Okay? Same thing with the 210. Just tekan 210 divide 180, which is 706. But don't forget to write the pi yourself. And then 240 divide 180. My calculator give me 403. Okay, but it's 403 pi radian. Yeah, so that's the answer. Okay. Yeah, so this is how I would do it. All right, hope you understand. That's all for this question. Okay, let's do number 5. Okay, let's see what chapter is this first. An airline operates a flight every day from Kuala Lumpur, KL to Terengganu. The probability that the flight will arrive late in Kuala Terengganu is 0.15. Okay, so I see the word probability. So maybe it's probability distribution. I don't know. Let's see. If 7 days are chosen at random, calculate the probability that the flight will arrive late less than 3 days. Okay, this is definitely from 5, chapter 5. It's called probability distribution. Dalam bahasa Melayu, taburan kebarangkalian. And for this chapter, there's two parts. First part, you learn about the binomial distribution, where you learn about the formula for probability, mean, variance, standard deviation. And then the next part, second part, you learn is the normal distribution. Normal distribution, you learn to use the Z-score table, right? Okay, but usually if it's a normal distribution question, you will see the word normal in the soalan. And I don't see any normal word here. I don't see they got mentioned the word normal here. So this is definitely a binomial distribution. And they asked to find probability. So definitely we'll be using the probability formula for binomial distribution. And do you remember the formula? The formula is like this: Px equals x, ncx, p power x, q power n minus x. That's the formula to find probability for binomial distribution. Okay. All right. For this kind of question, we need to find out the NPQ first. Yeah, without the NPQ, we cannot use this formula later. So what is your N? Very obvious, 7. Because they say out of the 7 days, right? And then calculate probably that the flight will arrive late less than 3 days. Okay, the less than 3, jangan tengok dulu. Let's focus on the probability of success P first. So they want to find probability that, I know they say less than 3, but don't look at that. The flight will arrive late. Okay, late. Okay, so the probability of success is the probability of late. Because they want to find probability yang late. So the probability of success is probability of late. And they could give you probability late is 0.15. Then what is the other probability? Will be 1 minus 0.15 is 0.85. And the 0.85 will be probability of early lah, on time lah, or you can say on time. Okay, yeah, 0.85 is probably of on if on time, and then 0.15 is the late probability. Now only we focus on this word less than 3 days. Okay, I always teach my student to write the big X. Big X means you write down all the possibilities. So out of the 7 days, maybe you 0 time success. It means 0 day you late, or maybe 1 day late, or 2 or 3 4 5 6 7. So what this means is basically, how many, you write down all the possibility how many days you success. Success means late, yeah, success means late. So out of the 7 day, maybe 0 day success, 0 time dear late, or maybe 1 day late, or 2 day late, 3 late, 4 late, 5 late, six late, 7 late. Yeah, 7 means seven kali also success lah. 7 kali also dia late. Yeah, it's possible also. But we don't have to cari semua. We have to find less than 3 days late. So PX less than 3. It means we only have to find the probability of 0 day late plus with 1 day late and 2 day late. That's it. That's all. Yeah, because less than 3 means 3 is not included. So you just find this one, this one, this one. That's all. Okay, now it's time to use the formula. It will be NCX. So 7C0 bracket bracket. The first bracket is P 0.15, second bracket is Q 0.85. For the power here, it will be same with the number down here, and then the power here will be atas minus atas, so 7 minus 0.7. Plus, next one, same thing, 7C1, and then bracket bracket, like just now also, 0.15, 0.85. Power here, same with number down here, 1, and then power here will be 7 minus 1, 6, plus 7C2, bracket bracket, first bracket is P 0.15, this one is Q 0.85. Power here, same with the down here, and then 7 minus 2 will give you 5 here, right? Okay, now it's time to press calculator. So 7C0, you don't have to press, that one is 1. 0.15 power 0, that one also 1, no need to press. You can just press 0.85 power 7, so it's 0.3206. Okay, let's write in 4 significant figures. Okay, the next one, 7C1 times 0.15 power 1 times 0.85 power 6, that would be 0.3960. Okay, if you press. And then the next one, if you press, you get 0.2097. Okay. Yeah, this one nothing to teach lah. Just press calculator only, and then just write in four significant figure. Huh? Okay, now everything add together 0.9263. Okay, after you are done, double check and see what they want. Did they ask for probability? Calculate the probability. So yeah, that's the answer. Okay. Okay, why I have to double check? Because sometimes they never ask for probability. Sometimes they ask for percentage or maybe number. Right? For those kind of question, you have to do after you finish, you still have to do something. Right? If they want to find number, they will give you the NS or the NA. Then you have to yeah use the probability, use the PA equals NA NS formula. It means the probability answer you get already, you have to put it here, and then they will give you either one of these to find. And then if they give you this, then maybe they ask you find this, something like that, right? Ya, ada juga soalan macam ni, eh. Okay lah, but this question they never ask for that, so finish already. Alright, now let's do B. Okay, B is what? If 150 days are chosen at random, wow, so your N is 150, ah. Oh, so big. Calculate the probability the flight arrive late more than 35 days. So your probability of success is still late because you're still finding late. So your probability of success P is still 0.15. So Q is still 0.85. But I want to find more than 35 days. So it will be PX more than 35 like that. Right? But I told you I will always ask students to write down the big X. Right? So if your N is 150, what is your big X? It'll be 0. It means out of 150 days, maybe 0 day you success. Success means late, so 0 late, or maybe 1 late, 2 late, 3 late. But there's so many. You'll be until 150, right? And also, if they want more than 35, is PX bigger than 35. So you have to calculate 36, 37, 38, 39, wah, until 150. Takkanlah you nak buat semua tu, right? So there must be another better way to do it, right? Okay, A, I can do it lah because it's just 7 days and they ask for less than 3. So I just have to use the formula 3 times. But this one, I have to use the formula so many times. Like, yeah, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, 6 time. Wow, I have to do more than 10 times. So maybe that's not the way they want me to do it, right? Because, yeah, there must be a better way to do it. So let me tell you how I will do it. I will actually use the normal distribution method to do it. It means I will use the Z-score table to do it. Even though they never mention the word normal here, but that's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way. And let me tell you how I'll do it. So you know how in normal distribution they always give you mean standard deviation because you need to change your x to z, right? You always need your mean and standard deviation because the formula from if you want to change to z, the formula is x minus mean divided standard deviation. Okay, that's how you do it, right? In normal distribution. And you want to convert to z is because you want to refer the z score table. Okay, yeah, if it's x value, how you want to refer the z table? Okay, you want to change to z. So I need my mean and standard deviation. And for the mean standard deviation, we can actually use the formula we learned in binomial distribution because the mean formula is NP. So 150 times 0.15. And then later I get my mean here. And for the standard deviation, formula is square root NPQ. This is also one of the formula you learn in binomial. Okay. So after I find this, then I can convert my x to z later, and then I can use my z score table. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I see the working now. So that's the plan now. 150 times 0.15. So I got 22.5, right? That's my mean. And I need my standard deviation also. This one, if you press, you get 4.373. Okay, just write in four significant figures. And then now you can actually find the probability already. So they want probably late more than 35 days. It means you're trying to find PX more than 35, right? But I told you we will use the normal distribution method to do it. And we need the Z score table for that. So what we do is convert to Z. So how to convert 35 minus mean 22.5 divide with the standard deviation 4.373. So now you understand why I find the mean standard deviation, right? Yeah, it's because of this. I want to convert to Z. So let's tekan this. What is my Z? The Z value 22.5 minus divide 4.373. Okay, my calculator give me 2.858. Okay, this one you write 3 decimal place. Okay. You write 3 decimal place. You know why? Because later when you baca the jadual, you will baca dari luar or baca dari dalam. Okay, this type of question you have to baca dari luar because they give you the Z value and you are trying to find the probability. So, yeah, you have to baca dari luar. If they give you the probability, then you baca dari dalam lah. If they give you the probability, that one is the other one lah. Okay, so this one you baca dari luar, and when you baca dari luar, you can only baca until 3 decimal place. This is the first decimal place, second decimal, third decimal place, right? That is why here I only write 3 decimal place. Okay, all right. I need this number and this number. Okay, I don't think I have the z-score table in this set, so you wait for me a bit. I need to open another trial paper because this trial paper don't have the thing, don't have the z-score table. So let me just open like Slango set 2 maybe. Okay, hopefully this one have the z-score table. Okay, so yeah. So I can pinjam the z-score table from here. So 2.858, right? So let's find it. So I will use highlight. So 2.8, this one, and then 8. So the value answer would be this one, right? 0.00219. And then 8 here would be 6. Yeah, 8, right? Okay, so I see it. So this one is 2.858. So it's 0.00219, but I have to tolak dengan 6. But the tolak 6, you will tolak with the last 2 digit. Okay, so it will be minus 6 like that. So it will become what? So it will become minus 6. So 0.00. What is 19 minus 6? 19 minus 6 is 3, right? So this is the answer. 219. So become 213. 213. Because 19 minus 6 is 13. Okay, so 0.00213. So let's go back to the answer space here. 0.00213. All right, that's the answer. So what's the soalan asked for? Probability, right? So yeah, that's the answer. That's the probability. All right, I'm done with this question. Let's move on. Okay, number 6. This one is coordinate geometry chapter, Form 4 chapter 6. Yeah, coordinate geometry. Okay, the vertices of hexagon. Okay, what is hexagon? Hexagon means have 6 sides. Yeah, the polygon have 6 sides. We call it hexagon. So you have the vertices point A, B, C, D, E, and origin is O. Okay, if O is origin means the coordinate is 0, 0 lah. Okay, hexagon mesti ada 6 sides. It means there should be 6 vertices. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the sixth one is this one lah, 0, 0. And then soalan A, find the area of the hexagon. Alright, I need space for this, so I'll do it up here actually. So for this, I will make it smaller. Alright, I'll do it up here now. So let's do A, the area of hexagon. Alright, the formula we will use is 1 over 2 modulus, and then we will just put in all the vertices coordinate inside. Yeah, all these coordinate of the vertex, I will just put it in, right? So let's start with A, negative 1, 3. Next one is 1, 5. Next one is 1 over 2, 1. Yeah, because A mesti ada join B one. B mesti ada join C, C mesti ada join D, D mesti join E. You don't go and write A, C like that. Don't. Because if you write like that, it's the wrong order. Okay, yeah, it has to be. They already call this point A, this point B, this point C, D, E like that. So A mesti ada join B, B mesti ada join C, C mesti join D, D mesti join E. Because later your hexagon, for example, it's like that, right? A, B, C, D, E, O. Imagine you write A and then you write D. Then it's like weird already, right? Like the order later it will like, yeah, you know what I mean lah. Because A tak ada join C pun. Yeah, that's why you have to write in the right order. So after you write A, you write B, B after B, C, C after C is D, 3, 0. And then D, E, wait, negative 1, 3, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 3, 0. Okay, 2, negative 2. And of course, the last one is 0, 0. But before you close the modulus, you should always repeat, how to say, write again the first vertex. Yeah, because we want to close it. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you start from here, ma. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, yeah, you have to close it. So you have to write the first one you write, you have to write it again at the last. Okay, so this is how it looks like now. Now we just have to multiply lah. Kena darab. Okay, you have to darab silang. Yeah, you have to darab silang. And always start dari nombor atas. So darab silang is like that. So negative 1 times 5, negative 5, and then plus. Tulis siap-siap plus. And then 1 times 1, 1, and then plus. Tulis siap-siap. 1 over 2 times 0, 0, no need to write. And then plus 3 times negative 2, negative 6. So bracket negative 6. And then plus, tulis dulu, tulis siap-siap. And then 2 times 0 is 0, no need to write. 0 times 3 is also 0, so 0, no need to write. And then minus. Why suddenly minus? Because now you change direction. 3 times 1, 3. And then minus. 5 times 1 over 2, 5 over 2. Minus. 1 times 3, 3. And then minus. Today, step the minus. Huh? 0 times 2 is 0. No need to write. Negative 2 times 0 is 0 also. 0 and then next 0 also. Okay, so done. So this one, I can close the modulus here. Okay, now I just have to use calculator. Press all this. Negative 1, 5 plus 1, negative 4 minus 6, negative 10 minus 3, negative wait, what? Negative 10, negative 13, negative 16. So negative 16 minus 5 over 2. Negative 16 minus 5 over 2. My calculator give me negative 37 over 2. Now, you can do the modulus negative 37 over 2. And you get positive 37 over 2. And then times 1 over 2 again, you get 37 over 4. And you have to write unit square lah, because this one is area. Right? So area have to write unit square. Okay, I'm done with this. Okay, let's move on. Let's do B. So B says determine whether straight line OE and CD are parallel or not. Okay, if both lines are parallel, the M1 will be equal to M2. Yeah, if they are parallel, they will have the same gradient. So what I will do now, I will find the gradient of OE, and then I'll find the gradient of CD. And if they're both same, means they're parallel. If they're not same, means they're not parallel. Okay, but of course I need the point O and point E coordinate, and I have it here. So point O and E is 2, negative 2, 0, 0. Okay, the formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In other words, y minus y over x minus x. So I want E and O, right? So y minus y, negative 2 minus 0. X minus x, 2 minus 0. So your gradient is negative 2 divided 2 is negative 1. For your gradient CD, it will be this one and this one. Same thing, y minus y, 1 minus 0 over x minus x, 1 over 2 minus 3. Okay, so I put bracket here. Okay, what is 1 over 2 minus 3? Negative 5 over 2, and then 1 divide answer is negative 2 over 5. Okay, use your calculator to help you lah. Alright, so that's your gradient CD and this is your gradient OE. So we need to answer the question now. Determine whether they are parallel or not. So the answer is no. Write the reason also lah. Since gradient of OE is not equals to gradient of CD as shown in the working here, therefore, comma, the straight line OE and CD, oh sorry, OE and CD are not parallel. Dia tak selari lah, not parallel, because they have the different gradient. Okay. Okay, so now I'm done with this. Now it's time to do the part C. Okay, what is this question? Point R move in the ratio RO, ratio RD is one. Okay, move. So this one is locus. Yeah, moving point. So this is definitely a locus question. So we will use the distance formula to solve it later. Yeah, we have to use, when we do locus, we usually use the distance formula. And then they say find equation of locus R. Okay, the first step is you let the moving point become xy first. Yeah, that's the first step. So what's the first step? Let the moving point. Which one is the moving point? R. So R, I jadikan dia xy. That is why you don't see R in the soalan here. Yeah, because R is a new point and it's a moving point. Okay, but it move with with a condition. And this is the condition. RO ratio RD sentiasa 1 nisbah 3. So what I will do, I will use definitely I need to use the square root, I mean the distance formula later. But let's change this to fraction first. So the distance of RO divided with the distance of RD is equals to 1 over 3. Yeah, ratio can change to the fraction like that. Okay. And then what you can do is cross multiply. Darab silang. So it becomes 3RO equals to RD. And then now you use the distance formula. Okay, but you have to use 2 times. One time to find the distance of RO, and then second time distance formula to find the RD distance here. Right? Okay, so how to find distance? The formula is square root, bracket square plus bracket square. And then first bracket you have to take x minus x. Second bracket you have to take y minus y. Okay, I'm trying to find for RO, right? So what's the coordinate for R and O? Okay, O is 0, 0. And then R is xy. So when you take x minus x, it will be x minus 0 lah. So the first bracket is x minus 0 square, second bracket y minus 0 square. But you can just write x, right? Because x minus 0 is x, right? So just write x. And then y minus 0 is just y, so just write y. Yeah. Because minus 0, so no need to write. Okay, next one is RD. So I need the coordinate for R and D. So what's my coordinate D? 3, 0. So I'll write it beside here. My D is 3, 0. And my R is xy. Okay, yeah, because that's the moving point. So I'll use the same formula: square root bracket square plus bracket square. The first bracket you have to write x minus x, so x minus 3, and then second bracket is y minus y, y minus 0. But minus 0 no need to write, just y. Okay, this is how it looks like now. The only thing left to do is simplify this whole thing now. Alright, how do you simplify? Alright, how do you get rid of this square root? Okay, I pernah tengok student board macam ni. They just cut the square root like that. Oh my god, this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. You cannot just cut the square root like that. Okay, right. The way to get rid of the square root is you have to square both sides, including the 3. So like that, like that, like that. Because when you square both sides, the square root will hilang. Yeah, the square root will hilang. And then the 3 also need to square. So the 3 square become 9. This is the correct way to get rid of the square root. And then the square root here hilang already lah, because you square already. So yeah, cancel already. And then you just left with whatever inside here, which is the x square plus y square. But I have to put bracket. Ini baru cara betul. Okay, what about the other side? The square root no need to write already because you square already. So you just left with whatever's inside, which is x minus 3 square plus 5 square. And you should expand this. So when you expand, you get x square. And then x times negative 3 times 2 is negative 6x. And then negative 3 square is 9. And then plus 5 square. Right? Now, you can take the 9 times with the bracket. You get 9x square plus 9y square equals to x square minus 6x plus 9y plus y square. And now the last thing to do is pindah everything to one side equals 0. Yeah, whenever you write locus, you should always have your final answer like this. Write everything on one side equals 0. It means you write in general form lah. Okay, but make sure you write in the correct order. So the first thing you have to write is the x square, followed by the y square. Okay, but there's another y square here, right? So the y square have to pindah lah. So plus y square jadi minus. So 9y square minus 1y square. 9 minus 1 is 8. So plus 8y square. Okay, after you write the x square and the y... wait. There's x square here also. Oh my god. So this one, the 9x square also have to minus 1 lah. 9 minus 1, so it's 8x square. Right? Okay, so I make sure I put a mark here. So I know this one sudah tengok. Alright, so it will be 8x square. After you write the x square and y square, the next thing you have to write is the x. So negative 6x pindah jadi plus 6x. Next thing you have to write is the y, but there's no y here. So ignore that. So I can just go straight to the number lah, plus 9. But I have to move there, become minus 9. Yeah, so this is the answer, equals 0. Okay. Okay, so that's your equation of locus. Alright, that's all. Okay, let's do number 7. Okay, I need to know what chapter first. Okay, I need to read first. A landscape architect, Mr. Haikal, has been tasked with designing a park that combines two types of recreational areas. So you want to make a park, design a park, but there's two types. Okay, the park consists of two main sections. Okay, one is a rectangle area and the other is a semicircular area. Okay, I think I need to draw it out. So this is how the park look like. There's a rectangle and there is a semicircle. There's like two sections in the park, right? Rectangle, semicircle. Hey, semicircle means half a circle, huh? Yeah, half a circle. Okay, Mr. Haikal wants to ensure that the total area of these two sections meets the requirements set by the park management. Okay, given that the area of rectangular is A1, x square minus 6x plus 8. So let's write this down. So the area of rectangle must be this x square minus 6x plus 8. Oh, so okay, it makes sense lah. So that means the area must be this. Okay. And the area of semicircular A2. Okay, so the semicircle is A2 with radius R has. Oh, they never give the area of semicircular, but then they said the radius has to be R. Okay, and then the x will be R plus 2. X will be R plus 2. So I think it's talking about this x. Yeah, this x is equals to R plus 2. Okay, let's not do it first. Let's read the whole thing first. Determine the values of x and r. Okay, nak cari nilai x and r when the total area is 50. Okay, I think this is the most important information. Total area is 50. Yeah, this one very important. Total area equals 50. And it's in meter square. But it's fine. I think, yeah, the rest also is in meters, so it's fine. Hence, find the area of each section. Give answer to two decimal place. Okay, I'm done reading the whole thing, and I think it's quadratic. Yeah, I think this one is from 4 chapter 2 quadratic. Okay. Okay, so how do you do it? Okay, the question actually asks for a lot of things. They ask you to find x, to find r, to find the area of each section. So later, your final answer, you need to find what? The x, the r, and not only that, you also need to find the area for each section. So there will be You have to find the x, the r, the a1, and the a2 lah. Okay. So this question asks for a lot of stuff. So they want you to find 4 things lah. Ya, dia nak cari 4 benda. Nak cari x, nak cari r, nak cari a1, nak cari a2. Okay, let's find the xr first. So how do you find it? I think it will be I think I have to use this information because they say total area of 50, and we all know the area of rectangle already is x squared minus 6x plus 8. So I can just put that in. But you have to plus with the semicircle, right? Okay, the area of semicircle A2, they never give us the equation. That means we have to write it ourselves. And we all know how to find area of circle, right? So area of circle is pi r square. Okay, that's how you find area of circle. You learn this in maths, like from 2, from 3, you learn already. But this one is semicircle, so it's 1 over 2. Okay? So this one is 1 over 2 pi r square. But if I want to find x, or if I want to find r, I need to make sure this whole equation only have one unknown. But now it's like got x, got r, so it's like impossible for me to find x and r, right? But they did mention something here, x is equals to r plus 2. So maybe I can sub this. I can replace the x, substitute x with r plus 2, because then I can find my r, right? Yeah, so I think that's what I will do now. So instead of x squared minus 6x, it becomes bracket square minus 6 bracket, and then the x is equals to r plus 2. This is what the question says, not what I sendiri buat punya, dia yang cakap. And then plus 8, and then plus 1 over 2 pi r square equals 50, right? And then got square, right? So definitely it will be a quadratic equation later. So later, let's susun jadi general form first, and then everything on one side equals 0 lah. Alright, this one expand. So r square plus 4r plus 4. Okay. And then minus, this one also can expand, minus 6r, and then minus 12. And then plus 8, and then plus 1 over 2 pi r square. And then the 50 minus 50 equals 0. Okay, now it's time to arrange in general form. Write it in the general form. Write it in the correct order. So first thing, we have to write the r square first. So this one r square, but this one also have r square, right? But the coefficient here is 1 over 2 pi. And if you want it in general form, usually you want your r square to be, usually you want your equation to only have satu r square. But now you have dual r square. So what I can do is I can factorize out the r square like that. And then the bracket will left with 1 plus 1 over 2 pi. Yeah, 1 plus 1 over 2 pi like that. Okay. Or you can write pi over 2. Yeah, I think write like that is better, right? More simple. And then the next one is I kena tengok yang tulis yang ada r lah. So 4r minus 6r. That's all right. Okay, itu saja. So 4 minus 2 is negative 2r. Okay. Okay, the last thing is the value. So 4 minus 12 plus 8 minus 50. Let's press. 4 minus 12 plus 8 minus 50. Okay, my calculator give me negative 50. Right? Okay, so there you have it. That is your quadratic equation involving r. So how do you find r from here? You have to factorize, right? But not all quadratic equation can be solved using factorization. Only those yang dia punya answer is good looking answer. Good looking answer means the answer can change to fraction, then baru you boleh guna factorization method. This one, it will not be a good looking answer. Let me tell you how I know. It's because your A is a very cacat punya value. Your A is 1 plus pi over 2, and pi is like 3.142 blah 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 like that. So definitely your A is yeah. If your A is like that, that definitely it means your answer will not be a good looking answer already. So to find R, you have to use another method, which is the quadratic formula. Right? And also the question here says already give the answer in 2 decimal place, right? So just remember this. Just remember this. Whenever the question says give answer to 2 decimal place, ataupun 4 significant figure, ataupun 3 decimal place, when you see this kind of thing, usually most of the time it means that you have to use the formula, the quadratic formula, right? Yeah, because if they say it like that, means it already means that your answer will not be a good looking answer. It means your answer cannot change to fraction. So definitely you can't use the factorization method. So let's do the quadratic formula. The formula is x equals negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. But instead of writing x equals, you have to write r lah. So over 2a. Okay, why so sengit? Okay. So alright. So this is how it looks like now. Alright, so write r equals, not x equals. So later here will be r equals. Okay, so this bracket, you have to put in the b. So the b is the number before r lah. So negative 2, negative 2. And then this bracket, you put in the a, which is 1 plus pi over 2. This one also 1 plus pi over 2. And then here it will be the C, which is negative 50. All right, so now I will draw a line. Okay, let's do bawah first. 2 times 1 plus pi over 2. That's going to be, okay, I think the pi I will just use 3.142 lah. Because the question never say, right? They never say pi nak guna 3.142 ataupun 2207. So we can just choose whichever lah. I'll just use 3.142. So I will press 3.142 divide 2 and then answer plus 1 and then answer times 2. So I got 5.142 for the denominator, 5.142. And then for here is negative negative 2, which is positive 2 plus minus square root. Okay, now I'll press all this, right? But I will press the 1 plus pi over 2 first. So 1 plus 3.142 over 2, and then answer times negative 50, and then times with negative 4 equal, I get 514.2, but I still have to take negative 2 square, which is 4 plus answer. 4 plus answer. So yeah, I get it, 518.2. Okay, so this is how it looks like now. Now my next step is to find R lah. Okay, what is this plus minus? This plus minus means you have to have two answer. The first one you do plus, the second one you do minus. So the first one, I will tekan 2 plus square root 518.2 and then divide with 5.142. But right in two decimal place, so 4.82. Okay, yeah, because they say two decimal place, right? So that's why. Okay. All right, the other one, I will tekan 2 minus square root 518.2 equal and then answer divide with 5.142. So this one I get negative 4.04. But of course, I have to reject this. The reason is because R is the represents the radius of the semicircle. So radius cm cannot have negative. Yeah, so the only answer that makes sense here is for R 4.82. But I'm not done. The soalan need to find x also. So I need to sub inside which equation? This one, right? X equals R plus 2. So I'll write here when R equals 4.82, your X is R plus 2, so 4.82 plus 2, which is 6.82. And let's write cm, because this is the length, right? Okay, after having all this XR, so the soalan says determine value of X and R, so I already do it, but it's not over yet. They said hence find the area of each section. So after finding the XR, I still need to find the area. Okay, so I will do it here lah. Okay, area means find the A1 lah, the A1 and the A2. Wait, why is it sengit? Okay lah, whatever lah. Okay, let's find A1. So A1, you remember, is x squared minus 6x plus 8. So it'll be bracket square minus 6 bracket plus 8. But the x, you have to substitute with the x value just now lah. Where is it? 6.82. Right? 6.82, 6.82. And then later I press calculator, I'll get my A1 answer. But I need to find my A2 also. What is my A2? A2 Oh, A2 is the area of semicircle, which is 1 over 2 pi r square. And your 1 over 2 pi r square, your r will be the 4.82 lah. Yeah, because we reject the negative one already, right? Okay, so now the only thing left to do is press calculator. Okay, 6.82 square minus 6 times 6.82 bracket plus 8. Okay, my calculator gives me 13.5924. But they already said give your answer in two decimal place. So let's just follow the instruction and yeah, just equal lah, two decimal place. And then this one 0.5 times, okay, the pi I will tekan 3.142 also, and then times 4.82 square. So I get 36.49 blah 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 blah. Okay, but I write two decimal place. So 36 point, okay, it's 36.498. So you have to round off. So it becomes 50. Two decimal place, man. So 36.50 cm squared. That's my answer. Okay, I'm done with the whole thing. Okay, but I think it's recommended to write one more baris, dot dot dot. So what they want to find just now, X and R and A1, A2. So X equals 6.82 cm, comma, R equals 4.82 cm, and then I will use this symbol, and then A1 equals 13.59 cm square, and then A2 equals 36.50 cm square. Yeah, it's recommended to write this baris at the end, because when the soalan asks you to find so many things, because the soalan asks to find X and R and A1, A2, right? So your working will be very confusing. Okay, so it's recommended after you finish everything, write like that. So your cikgu tahulah. So cikgu yang tanda kertas tu dia tahu, okay, dia kena bagi markah dekat sini, and yeah, this is the answer. Okay, so that your answer is clear lah. They boleh nampak, okay, this baris, yeah. So it's like your cikgu don't need to go and find where's the answer, because you already write it here. Okay, that's all for my question 6. explanation. I mean question 7. Huh? Okay, so let's continue. All right, let's do bahagian B number 8. So this is linear law question from 4 chapter 6. Yeah. Okay, table 1 shows the values of two variables x and y obtained from an experiment. Okay, this is not important. The variable x and y are related by equation h plus xy equals 2k over x, where h and k are constant. Okay, everything here is not important. Only the equation is important. So I will write down the equation and I will change it to linear form now. Okay, so whenever we do linear law question and they give us the equation, we always change to linear form. Means change to y equal mx plus c, right? Even if the question never asks also, you should do it. Because when you're doing paper 2 linear law, if you don't change to linear form later, you cannot do C. Yeah, you can scroll down, you can see C1, they say find the value of H and K, right? Yeah, so you need to change to linear form in order to find your H and K later. Okay. Okay. The method I always teach my student to change to linear form is always look at the y-axis of the graph. Okay. And you can actually know the y-axis if you take out B. Yeah. So the B, they will tell you plot something against something, and from there you can see already what's your y-axis. So it's x square y against x. That means the graph y-axis will be x square y and the graph x-axis will be x. So we can use this to guide us to get our linear form, y equal mx plus c. All right, so we want our y-axis to be x square y, but did you see x square y here? No, but I see xy. So let's make that single here and bring the h over, become negative h plus with the 2k over x, right? But you want your y-axis in your equation to be same with the y-axis in the graph. Yeah, because later when you write y equal mx plus c, your y-axis has to be x square y. It has to match with the y-axis in the graph. So how can I make it same? Xy, I want to become x square y. Very simple, just times with x. But if you times with x, then everyone also have to times x, right? So everyone times x. So xy times x, x square y, negative h times x, negative hx. 2k over x times x is 2k. And there you have it. That's your linear form because your y-axis in your equation already matched with the y-axis in the graph. And not only that, the right side is also already mx plus c, and you can see the x-axis matched with the x-axis in the graph. That means you can butcher your gradient and y-intercept. So you can write y equals mx plus c, and you can see your gradient is negative h. Don't forget the negative, and your y-intercept is 2k. And later when you do C1, how do you find h and k? Well, your C1 will be negative h equals gradient lah. Okay, and then negative h, and then the gradient later I have to find it from the graph, of course. And then after I tekan greater, I get something here, and then my h will be pindah the negative. Then that would be the answer. But of course now I don't know the answer yet because I haven't drawn the graph. But I will do this later. Okay, but now I just tulis siap-siap dulu lah. Okay, for question 2, question 2 pula. For k, it will be 2k will be the c. So 2k equals y-intercept, right? So where will I write that? I will write it down here. 2k equals y-intercept, but the y have to use big Y. So now 2k equals y-intercept, but of course this one you have to tengok daripada graph. So later I will, after I draw graph, baru I know, then only I know what's the y-intercept. And then I put it here, and then I can find my k lah. Just bahagi 2, right? Yeah, just take this answer, divide 2, then I get my answer here. Okay. Alright, so I already tulis siap-siap for my C1. Okay. Yeah, every time I do linear law question, I always, when they give equation, I always change to linear form right away. Even if the question never asks, I will always do it like that. Okay. Yeah, because I'm preparing for the part C. Okay. And now only I will draw the table. So A says based on table, construct a table for this value of x square y. So let's draw a table. But I will not just draw for x square y, I will at the same time draw for x also. Yeah, because later when I plot, I need the x axis value and the y axis value. So the x axis is x, the y axis is x square y, because it says here x square y against x. So why not at the same time draw for x also? Okay, because then later when I plot, I can just look at this new table. Okay, got how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here there should be 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the x and this x is the same. That means the x value never change. So you can just copy everything. 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0. Everything's same with here. But here you cannot write the same value because this one is x square y. It means you have to take the x value square first and then times with y. So this is not, this is the y, right? So what I have to press in my calculator, I have to press x square times y. So it's 1 square times 6.98, and you get 6.98 also. Next one, it has to be 1.5 square times 2.82, but you write in two decimal place because later you have to plot this point. So write in two decimal place. So it's 6.35. Okay. Yeah, always write two decimal place when it's a, when you have to plot, when it's a graph question, right? Yeah, because when you plot graph, always write two decimal place. Next one, 2 square times 1.36, that would be 5.44, right? In two decimal place, 5.44. And then 3 square times 0.46 is 4.14. And then 3.5 square times 0.43, 5.27. And then the last one, 4 square times 0.16, 2.56. Okay, let me double check something. 4 times 1. Okay, so that is the answer. Now we can do B, right? So remember, these two steps, you always have to do it in the linear law paper 2 question. These two steps. First step is changing to linear form. Second step is drawing table. Even if the question never asks also, you should do these two steps. Okay, okay, but this one, the A, they actually got asked you to draw the table lah. Alright, but sometimes they won't ask. Yeah, there are questions that they won't ask to draw table, but you have to do it also, because without the table you can't plot the graph. Okay, plot x square y against x using a scale of 1 cm to 0.5 on x-axis and 1 cm to 1 on x square y. Hence, draw the line of best fit. Okay, this one I think it's they made a mistake here. It's not 1 cm, it's 2 cm. Yeah, it's 2 cm. Because if you use 1 cm to 0.5, your graph will be so small. Yeah, because imagine if it's 1 cm 0.5. That means if 1 cm to 0.5, then it's like 2 cm to 1 unit already. 1 cm 0.5 means 2 cm 1. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Because your x highest value is 4. So it's like you're using 4 kotak. But your graph paper, there's like, I think 10 kotak. You found there's like 10 kotak. But you're only using 4 kotak. So I think they made a mistake here. Yeah, so you change the question. You change it to 2 cm, 2 cm 0.5. Not 1 cm 0.5. And also, if you look at the schema, they did 2 cm to 0.5 also. Yeah, in the schema also. So I think this one memang the soalan silap lah. Memang ada masalah dekat soalan ni. So this one is 2 cm 0.5, this one is 2 cm to 1. Alright. So I go to a graph paper now. Oh, before I draw the axis, we have to double check whether it has negative value or not. Sometimes the linear question got negative value one. Okay, but this one all positive. So later my origin 0, 0 can just letak mana? Bawah kiri lah, the bottom left. Because everything, first quadrant means everything in the first quadrant. So later this will be 2 cm 0.5, and then it keeps going until the last one is 4 lah. And then this one is 2 cm to 1, right? Yeah, 2 cm to 1 on the x square y axis. So for the x square y will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and the highest go until 6.98. So later go until 7 here lah. Okay, so I will draw the axis now. 0.5417. 0.5417. So I start at the bottom left and I go 0.5, and then here I go 1. Okay, but here I need to go until 4, right? 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0. Ini baru logic mah. 2 cm to 0.5. Imagine if I do 1 cm 0.5. Then my 4 will be here already. It's like my graph is only this big. And also if I do 1 cm 1, it will be 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at how small is your graph, right? If I follow the 1 cm, right? Yeah, that's why I said change the question. So this one is 4.0, and here is x. This one also 2 cm to 1, so 2 cm to 2, and then this one is 3. This one will be 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course, this is the x square y axis. And now we can draw the axis. Okay, draw the line. Okay, so use ruler to do this step. Okay. All right, that's your y-axis and that's your x-axis. All right, now it's time to plot all the points lah. Okay, for linear law, you always have to write the title, and the title will be graph of the y-axis against x-axis, right? So let's write the tajuk now lah. If I write it now, then I don't have to write it later already. So let's write now graph of x square y against x, and then underline that, underline the title. Okay, okay, I'm done with this. Now we can plot it. Okay, so what is the first point? Let's go to the table. Okay, we cannot look at the table they give us in the soalan. We have to look at the red color table, the one I did myself. So 1 6.98. So let's go 1 6.98. All right, 1.0 is easy, it's here. 6.98 is where? Okay, you can go until 7. Okay, 7, if I go down one quota, if I minus one quota, is berapa? Okay, if you're not sure, you take the difference here, divide by 10. So what's the difference here? 7 minus 6 is 1, but 1 divided 10 is 0.1. That means 1 quota here is 0.1. So if I 7 turun 1 quota, I can use my calculator to help me. 7 minus 0.1 is 6.9. But I want 6.98. So I should go to 7 and just turun sikit sahaja. Yeah, because 7 turun 1 is 6.9 already. So 6.98 should be 7 turun a bit. Yeah, 7 go down a bit. And make sure you plot at 1.0. Okay. All right. Go to the next one. Next point would be 1.5, 6.35. Let's go. 1.5 is at here. 6.35 is at okay, here is 6. But I know one quota is 6.1, and then 6.2, 6.3, 6.4. So 6.35 is right in the middle here. Yeah, exactly in the middle of 6.3 and 6.4. So check again, 6, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.35. Yeah, somewhere here. And make sure you plot at 1.5. Yeah. Okay, what's the next point? 2.0, 5.44. Let's go. 2.0, 5.44. Okay, 2.0 is here. 5.44 Okay, 5 naik 4 kotak is 5.4, and then naik sikit. Yeah, 5.4 naik sikit. Okay. Alright, done. Next. 3.0, 4.14. Let's go. 3.0, 4.14. So 3.0 is here, right? 4.14 Okay, 4 naik 1 kotak is 4.1. And then naik sikit is 4.14. Yeah, 4.1 naik sikit. Okay. So 4 naik 1 kotak and then naik sikit. Okay. Okay, done. What's the next point? 3.5, 5.27. Let's go. 3.5, 5.27. So 3.5 is easy, it's here. 5.27. So 5 is here, and then naik is 5.1, 5.2, and then 5.3. So 5.27 is 5.3 turun sikit. Yeah. But it's weird, why the point so far away, man? Okay, let's tengok balik. Did I make a mistake or betul lah 3.5. Okay, is there any wrong value? Okay, yeah. In the C2 they said one of the value of y is wrongly recorded, right? Yeah, so that's the wrong value. Okay, let me tell you why I scroll down and check the C2. It's because there's some linear law question is like that. There is one point that is very far away, and they want you to determine the value and find out the correct value at the part C. Okay, so as you can see, this question is like that lah in part C, right? So it's normal to have a value that is apa that is wrong. Okay, and this is the wrong one. Okay, so I can go to the last point. 4.0, 2.56. 4.0, 2.56. Where is that? 2 is here. Naik 2.1, naik 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. And then if I naik lagi 2.6. But I want 2.56. So 2.6 turun sikit lah. Yeah, so I repeat one more time. 2 naik 6 kotak and then turun sikit. Yeah, because you naik 6 kotak is 2.6 mah. And turun sikit is 2.56 lah. Alright, I'm done with all the points. Now it's time to draw the line of best fit. So when the method I always teach my student is put your ruler, join the first point and the second point, right? And check how many point the line touch, right? So imagine if I draw it like that. Imagine, just imagine. So you can see your line only touches 2 point. All the rest of the point never touch at all. And yeah, 3 points dekat bawah, 1 point dekat atas, right? So it's not that good. So let's try joining the first point and the third point. Let's just see what happens. Okay, I try joining first 3 point. This is also not very good because it only touched 2 point and all the rest of the point duduk atas. Yeah, it's not that good. Let's try with 1 and 4. All right, if I join 1, 4, okay, this is decent. Yeah, this looks decent because you touch 2 point, but it's much more balanced. Yeah, the points are distributed more evenly because you have 1 point atas, 2 point bawah, right? Okay, this point yang atas, that one memang the wrong value already, right? Because I read the part C2 already. So that one confirm, yeah, don't have to worry about that. Just worry about these 3 points. So as you can see, this is not too bad, right? Yeah, all the points are like quite near to the line also. Yeah, so it's not that bad. Now let's try with the last one, which is the first point and the last point. So if the line is like that, you also touch 2 points, and you have 2 point atas, 1 point bawah lah, right? But this point later this point is the wrong value, right? So you can bring it down later, right? So it's either 1 5 or 1 4. So which one better? This one is one atas, two bawah, but it's like a bit far, right? But if I do like that, I think this is the best one. Yeah, this is actually the best one. Yeah, 1 and 5, right? Yeah, both is fine. Yeah, but I will do 1 and 5. Yeah, because I feel like the points are much more closer to the line. So I think this is my best fit. So I'll just extend the line until the y-axis because I need the y-intercept, right? So this is my line of best fit. Okay, as you can see, my y-intercept is at 7 point. No, it's at okay. This is 7. This is 8, and then 9 is would be 9 will be here lah. So this is 8.4 actually. Yeah, it's 8.4. Okay, so later I will need the 8.4 for my part C working. Okay, so far I already finished the part B. Yeah, the part B asks for the graph and it's worth 3 marks, and I've done that. Okay, the C1 I already did it way before like in the beginning I already write down the working everything. So now I just have to fill in the blank. Okay, the y-intercept is 8.4, right? Yeah, just put it here. Divide by 2 is 4.2 lah. That's okay already. But for the gradient, you need to choose any 2 points on the graph. Yeah, because the gradient formula is y minus y over x minus x, and you need two coordinates to do that. All right, we can choose any 2 points on the line. On the line, you don't go and choose this point. Is this point on the line? I don't think so. So no, you choose 2 points on the line. So you can choose any 2 points, right? But if you look at the x value, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I can do is I can make the difference 2. Yeah, because when you divide by 2, you will get a good looking answer. Okay, so what I can do, I can take from 0 to 2, from 0 to 2.0, like that, right? Yeah, this 2 point is fine. But make sure when you butcher this coordinate, you don't butcher the one at the bawah one, you butcher the one on the line. So it will be like 2, 5.5 lah. And then it's 0, 7.4. That's one of the option. Or another way to do it, you can also take what? You can also take 1 to 3. Yeah, 1 to 3.0. Yeah, because if you take 1 to 3.0, the difference is also 2. 3 minus 1, right? And yeah, when you divide by 2, yeah, you get the same. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is like you have a lot of option lah. Just take any 2 points. But the 2 points, make sure they are not too close to each other. Okay, make sure they are like quite far. The further it is, the more accurate your answer will be. Yeah. Okay, so I will take 3 to 1 lah. Okay, so of course I will take this one on the line, not the one at the atas one. So if I take on the line, it will be 3.0, and this will be 4, right? And this one, okay, this one actually it touch the point I plot. So this one, I can stick the point on the table. Yeah, because the other sentuh, because my line actually touch the point. So it will be 6.98. Yeah, okay. So when can I take the answer from the table? When the point, I mean when the line got touched the point, then we can straight away take. This one I didn't take from table is because it never touched. That's why I have to butcher myself. This one didn't touch, that's why I can read from the table. Okay, now I have to do the dotted line. So the dotted line will join this, use ruler lah, and then put 90 degree here. Okay, now we have to go to the working and do the gradient. So the gradient formula is y minus y. So 6.98 minus 4. 6.98 minus 4 over 1 minus 3. Okay, so use your calculator. 6.98 minus 4. 6.98 minus 4. Okay, negative, no, positive 2.98. And then divide with 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. So divide with negative 2 is negative 1.49. That's what I got. So I will write negative 1.49. And that is negative h, but I want h. So I have to pin down the negative from here to here. So when you pin down negative, you have to tukar tanda, right? Change sign. So it will be positive 1.49. So that's your h answer, and that's your k answer. Okay. Okay, so that's all, right? That's all for C1. Okay, now let's do the last part, C2. Find the correct value of y if one of the value of y is wrongly recorded. All right, first step is let's determine the wrong value of y first. Wrong value of y, and after we determine wrong value of y, we can determine the correct value of y. Okay, but wait. Um, actually in your graph, y-axis is x square y, right? So actually, I will determine the correct value of x square y first. Then only I determine the correct value of y. Yeah, let me show you what I mean. So the wrong value will definitely be this one. Wait, hold on. The wrong value will definitely be this point right here, right? But they want the wrong value of y. If you butcher here, okay, I'm sorry. If you butcher here, you will get the wrong value for x square y, right? Which is you can get from your table actually, which is this point, this one, right? Yeah, this is this one. If you butcher to the y-axis, you get this 5.27, right? But they want the wrong value of y. So actually, I will look here instead, 0.43, because that's the y, right? So that's the wrong value of y, lah, 0.43. So now I will start working towards the correct value of y, okay? But will go to my graph first, and what I will do is I will pull this point down. I'll pull it down because I want it to be on the line, okay? Because when it's on the line, that's when uh that's when it's the correct value, huh? All right. So after I reach the line, I will draw another dotted line towards the y-axis. So it's here. Wait, did I do it wrong? One, two, three. One, two. Yeah. Okay. So this is at 3.3. Yeah, 3.3. So what is your correct value? 3.3. But hold on. This 3.3 is not y. It's x square y right here. Okay. Because your y-axis is x square y. So this is definitely not the answer. This is the correct value of x square y. So now, how to find correct value of y? Very simple. The x, okay, the corresponding value of x, you can see I bulletkan just now, right? The x is 3.5, 3.5. Okay, this one, 3.5, 3.5. So that means I have to the x is 3.5 square times y is 3.3. And to find y, I have to take the 3.3 divide with x square. And the x is 3.5. Okay, so I will press now 3.3 divide 3.5 square. Okay, let's see what I get in my calculator. Okay, you wait for me. I'm pressing. Okay, my calculator give me. Oh, yo. Okay, this one I'll write 4 cm figure. Okay, yeah, this one I'll write 4 cm figure. So 0.2694. Actually, it's 2693 lah, but it's 938. So I round off lah. 4 significant figures. So it will be 0.2694. Okay, all right. That's all for this question. This is how you do the 10-mark linear law question. All right, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Number 9. Okay, what chapter is this? This one is definitely integration. So from 5, chapter 3. Okay. Okay, I'll read the question first. Diagram 3 shows the curve y equals x squared. All right. I think it's talking about this one. Okay, I see it. And then the tangent to the curve at point P39 intersect y-axis at point Q. So there's a tangent line. This one is the tangent line. And tangent line means the line will only touch the curve at one point. And they already give you the point coordinate is point P39, right? So this one we call it the tangent point. Tangent point means the point that the line touches the curve. Okay, okay, they say intersect y-axis at point Q. So this is point Q, lah. But they never give us the coordinate for point Q. But I'm sure I can find it later. Yeah, it's possible. But you need to find your equation tangent first, lah. Yeah, after you find your equation tangent, then you can ganti x0 to find the y-intercept, which is the point Q. Okay, okay, but let's not do that first. Let's see what they want. So A says equation of tangent at point P. Okay, I know how to do. Very easy. So to find the equation of tangent of this line at point P, you just need to find the gradient tangent first. And how to find the gradient tangent? You do dx. Okay. Yeah. So just now I said it's from 5 chapter 3, right? Well, actually it's from 5 chapter 3 plus with from 5 chapter 2. Yeah, it's differentiation and integration mixed together. Yeah. All right. So I will differentiate the dy dx. Okay, because that's how you find gradient tangent. Okay, when you differentiate this, you will get in terms of x. So power times with the number in front here, 2 times 1 is 2, and then power minus 1. So x power 2 minus 1 is x power 1. So you will just end up with 2x. Okay, this is not the gradient tangent yet. This one we call it the GF. GF is gradient function, or you can say gradient curve. Then how to get gradient tangent? Okay, to get the empty gradient tangent, you have to sub the x with the tangent point x coordinate. So what's the tangent point x coordinate? Point P3, right? So your MT is 6. Meaning this tangent line gradient is 6. But I need to find the equation. So how do you find equation? Okay, you have the gradient and you have a point yang passes through. Now you can use the formula y minus y equals gradient x minus x. Yeah, this is how you find equation of straight line. Okay, for Addmaths, we will usually do it like this: y minus y equals gradient x minus x. For the gradient, you muscle gradient tangent 6 lah. And then for the x my x1 y1, you will use the point yang passes through the line, which is 3 9. So y kena tolak y, so y minus 9 lah. And then x confirm have to minus x, so x minus 3. So now just simplify this. Y minus 9 equals 6 times x, 6x minus 3, 6 times 3, 18. Y equals 6x, negative 18 plus 9 is negative 9. So that is the answer. Y equals 6x minus 9. Okay, I think I'll label it here also. And also, if this is y equals 6x minus 9, means your point Q is negative 9 lah. Yeah, because point Q is the y-intercept of this line. So when you're finding y-intercept, the x-coordinate will be 0. So you can sub 0 inside this equation. 0 times 6 is 0, 0 minus 9 is negative 9. Yeah. Okay, I still don't know what they want B, so let's see. Okay, B, they say what? Area of shaded region. So it's good that I find the point Q lah. Yeah, it's good that I find the point Q just now, even though the question never asked. But you need the point Q, because when you're finding area of shaded region, what do you think? Like if you don't have this point, how can you find the area of shaded region, right? Yeah, so definitely you need the negative 9 here. Okay, so how to find area of shaded region? Okay, so first thing we need to know is which axis we want to use first. Yeah, which axis we want to use to find the area of shaded region. We can integrate towards x-axis. We also can integrate towards y-axis. So if I look at my equation here, this one is y equals, right? So let's try integrating towards x-axis. Because if it's y equals, if you integrate towards x-axis, this will be your y, right? Because the formula is either integrate y dx or integrate x dy. Yeah, that's the formula, right? So imagine if we try to integrate towards x-axis, and then dalam is y, and then the y later I can use the y equals here, right? So what will happen? Okay, if you integrate towards x, this region up here, because you're using x-axis, right? So this region is above the x-axis, but this one is below, so you have to find it separately. But for the bawah region, you can use area of triangle also can, 1 over 2 times base times height, but you need to find out the this one, but you can find it easily. Just sub y equals 0 here, then you can find it already. And then you can find your area of rectangle. But for the atas part, you cannot integrate satu kali. You have to integrate dua kali. Yeah, because this one actually is like, you can see this line is a sengit line. Yeah. So the region above here, the region here, it's in between curve and x-axis, but at the same time, it's in between the sengit line also. So what you have to do is you have to find out the whole area here first, and then minus with the triangle, and then to get this. Yeah. And then after you get this, baru you plus with the area of triangle down here, right? That's what, if you use x-axis, you will do it like that lah. But let's try using y-axis. Okay. So if I do it y-axis, how it will look like, how your working will look like. So integrate towards y means you will go here. And when you use y-axis, you will just look at your shaded region, whether it's on the left or on the right side. And you can see the whole shaded region is on the right side of y-axis. So that means we don't need to find the two regions separately. You can just find it sekali. Sekali can find it the whole thing already, right? But the problem is the shaded region is in between this line and y-axis, but at the same time it's this curve also. So I think I need to draw a line here, and we all know this one is 3, this one is 9. So what we can do is we have to find the whole area here first. Yeah, because when you find integration, the line cannot be like a sengit line like that one. So what you can do is you integrate from 0 to 9 the straight line equation. Yeah, you integrate the straight line equation from 0 to 9, and then from negative 9 to 9. Okay? And then you minus with this one, and this one you can find it easily. Just integrate the curve equation from 0 to 9. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll do it like this. It's more simple, right? But if you do it like this, then you have to use this formula, the dy. And then dalam kena tulis x lah. But it's okay. The x, I can pindah the square, it becomes square root later. Yeah. So I already have my plan now. Now it's time to execute. So let's execute the plan. So on B, I will find first the area of the whole thing. Yeah, which is the area of triangle. So I think I will just do it fast by using the area of triangle formula. 1 over 2 times base times height. The base will be here, and then the height will be here. So the base This is 90 degree. So the base is how much? 3 lah. And then the height will be here. Okay, from here to here is 9 unit. From here to here is 9 unit also, because this one is negative 9, right? But we ignore the negative because distance one at the negative. So we just want the distance in unit. So 9 plus 9 is 18. So the area of big triangle 102 times 3 times 18. But I have to minus with the area, this one, which is the area between the curve and the y-axis. So this one you can integrate towards y, so dy, and then this one is x, and it's from 0 to 9. And later for the x, you have to muscle the curve equation, which is, what's the curve equation? Y equals x square. So you have to jadikan x single lah. So if x square equals y, x equals to square root y. But the square root, I will write power 1 over 2. Yeah, because later I have to integrate. So I need to know the power exactly. Yeah, I need to know power. That's why it's better to write like that. Okay, next. 1 over 2 times 3 times 18. 18 divided 2 is just 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So now we already know the area for the whole triangle, right? The 27. So I just have to minus with this one. So now integrate y power 1 over 2. When you integrate power, I have to plus 1. 1 over 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. And then you have to divide with the new power 3 over 2. And then tutup bracket 90. Okay, y power 3 over 2. Divide 3 over 2 means times 2 over 3. So I will simplify it so that it becomes like this first. And now baru I ganti the 9 and 0 inside. So it becomes 27 minus big bracket, small bracket minus small bracket. The first bracket you want to sub 9 inside. So 9 power 3 over 2, 27. 27 times 2 over 3 is 18. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you. And then sub 0, 0 power 3 over 2 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. Okay. So you get 27 minus 18 minus 0 is 18. It means the area here is 18. But the whole triangle is 27. So when you minus 18, you will get the area of shaded region. So the answer is 9. But I have to write unit square because this is area. Okay. All right. That's the answer. Hope you understand. Okay, let's do C. All right. C says find the volume of revolution in terms of pi when the region bounded by curve x-axis and straight line x equals 3 is rotated 90 degree about x-axis. Okay, they want to find volume, but I don't think they want the volume of shaded region. No, I don't think so. Because if they want volume of shaded region, they would say here volume of shaded region, but they never say that. They said region bounded by curve x-axis and straight line x equals 3. It means this is another region. And we need to find out where is this region now. So let's read. Region bounded by curve. Okay, let me use a highlight. Curve is this one, right? And then x-axis, which is this line right here. So what else? Region bounded by curve, okay, x-axis, and the straight line x equals 3. Okay, x equals 3 would be a vertical line, and it will cut x-axis at 3. So it will be this line right here. This line is x equals 3, right? So let me highlight this like that. So any more line? So region bounded by curve, x-axis, and straight line x equals 3. Okay, so where is the region bounded by this 3 yellow color line? It will be here, right? It will be here. Yeah. So this is the region I'm trying to find for the volume. Okay. Bounded means between. Yeah, bounded means between. So if I say region bounded means region between curve x-axis and x equals 3. So curve x-axis and x equals, this one, this is the region in between the three lines. Yeah. So I'm trying to find the volume of this shape. And actually you can find this volume easily. You just have to integrate one time is enough already. Because this is already a vertical line. Yeah, this is already a vertical line. And they say revolve x-axis, right? X-axis, but they say rotate 90 only. Okay, it's okay. So yeah, I can just integrate from 0 to 3, and this line is already a vertical line, and your region is already between curve and x-axis. Yeah, and it's already a vertical line, so I can just integrate sekali, boleh dah. So I will write the working now. So the volume formula is integrate. Okay, for volume formula is integrate. Kalau dy it become pi x square, but if it's dx here will be pi y square. But this one you rotate x-axis, so it should be integrate dx, and then this will be pi y square, and the number will be from 0 to 3. Yeah, this is how we do it. And you don't have to minus with anything. Yeah, no need, because this region is already between curve and x-axis, and this line is already a vertical line. It's already a straight line. Okay, now it's time to integrate this. But wait, they say rotate 90 degree, right? So when you do it like that, when you integrate like this, you're actually finding for rotating 360 degree, right? You're actually finding this region rotate 360. You end up like like a something like that, like a cone like that, right? But you only want 90-degree, right? That means you have to times with 90 over 360. Yeah, you have to times with 90 over 360. Or you can also write 1 over 4, right? Yeah, because 90 over 360 is 1 over 4. So I'll just write here V is actually 1 over 4 times with this. Yeah, because this one is for 360, but they only want rotate 90 only. So that's why I divide 4 lah. Okay. Okay, so now we've got V equals 1 over 4. Okay, the pi boleh letak depan and then integrate 0, 3 dx. Okay, here you left with y square, right? For the y square, you must put in the equation of curve. The equation of curve is y equals x square, but I want y square. So your y, okay, they want y square, right? So I can just letak bracket square, y square, and then for the y, I letak x square, like that. So it becomes x power 2, it becomes x power 4. So volume 1 over 4 pi, integrate 0, 3, x power 2 is x power 4 dx. And now you integrate. So v equals 1 over 4 pi. Okay, when you integrate, you will stop writing this symbol. You will write the big bracket instead. And then integrate power plus 1 is 5, divide with new power 5, and then 3, 0. Continue here, v equals 1 over 4 pi. Okay, for the big bracket here, okay, I cannot simplify inside already. Yeah, double simplify already. Now I'll just open 2 bracket and then sub the 3 inside and then sub the 0 inside. Okay, 3 sub inside, 3 power 5 is 2, 4, 3 over 5. Sub the 0 inside, 0 power 5 is 0, 0 divided by 0. So you get 1 over 4 pi. 2, 4, 3 over 5 minus 0, 2, 4, 3 over 5 lah. And then times with 1 over 4. This one you can use calculator. 2, 4, 3 divide 5 divide 4 is divide 20. So 2, 4, 3 over 20 pi. But volume, right? So write units cube. Okay. Yeah. So this is the volume answer. Okay. That's all for my explanation. Let's continue. Okay. I'm at question 10 now. Let's go. OABC is a parallelogram. Okay. What is parallelogram? Parallelogram is a shape that look like this. It's like a rectangle, but the rectangle surah sangat. Yeah, it's like a rectangle, but the rectangle sudah sangat. Okay. Okay, but the opposite side sama panjang lah. Atas bawah sama, kiri kanan still sama panjang. Alright, what else? Such that OA is 3i plus. Okay, this is definitely from 4 chapter 8. The vector. Huh? Okay, so they say OA is 3i plus 4j. OC is 12i plus 5j. Find OB. Okay, this vector question is a bit difficult because they never give us the diagram. They never give us the diagram. So it will be very difficult for me to find the OB later because there's no diagram. Yeah, it's very difficult. So I think I have to draw my own diagram. But sir, if I draw my own diagram, where should I put the OABC? Anywhere. Anywhere. I can just put it here OABC like that. Or maybe some student want to put like that also can. Like OABC can also. Right? Yeah. Just make sure your O got join A and A got join B, B got join C. You don't put like that. You don't go and put O, A, B, C. This is wrong. Because O, kalau macam ni tak ada join. Yeah, yeah. As long as you didn't do like that, then it's correct. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, now we can label already. Because now we have the diagram. Okay, and it's okay. Let me draw bigger. Okay, big, big, big. Okay, so like that, like that, like that, like that. Because when we do vector question, we usually want to be able to label. Okay, that's why when they don't give us diagram, it's very awkward. That's why I draw it myself. So OA is like that, 3i plus 4j. But do you know your BC will be same also? Yeah, it's same also. You know why? Because these two lines are parallel, and not only that, they are same length. They have the same magnitude. So not only they have the same magnitude, they have the same direction. That is why they have exactly same vector. Okay, 3i plus 4j. Next one is OC, 12i plus 5j. So here, 12i plus 5j. But you know, atas will be same also. Why? Because they are both parallel and sama panjang. 12i plus 5j. Okay, with that label, now we can do A1. So where I want to do it, I will just do it here. A1, they want to find OB. Okay, O to B, I think I have to tambah a line myself. Like that. So I think I can go OA plus AB lah. Okay, OA plus AB. Okay. So vector OA is 3i plus 4j. Right? Oh, and one more thing, if it's IJ, you can actually because I is for horizontal movement, J is for vertical movement, so you can actually write in the bracket form like that also can. It's the same, okay? But only IJ you can write like that. Okay? Okay, and then plus with AB, which is 12i plus 5j. So simple. And then I plus I, J plus J. So I plus I, 3 plus 12, 15i. 4 plus 5 is 9j. So that's your first answer. Okay, let's do the next question, number 2. Find the unit vector in direction of OB. The unit vector formula is 1 over magnitude times with the times with the vector, right? So the formula is 1 over magnitude times with the vector in terms of ij, which is vector OB lah. Okay, you already have the vector OB. It's 15i plus 9j, but you need the magnitude. So how to find magnitude? Square root, bracket square plus bracket square, and the bracket you have to put in the value before ij. So what's the value before ij for OB? 15 and 9. It's like Pythagoras theorem lah. Yeah. Okay, this one you can use your calculator to tekan. If you use the 570EX calculator, they will simplify the cert for you. So you get 3 square root 34. That's the magnitude. Okay. Always simplify the cert. All right. After you're done with this, now you can find the unit vector. So I'll just write here unit vector equals, use this formula 1 over magnitude, which is 1 over 3 square root 34. But you have to multiply with the vector OB in terms of ij. So this is the one 15i plus 9j. Of course, you can also write bracket 15, 9 like that. Same thing. This one can also. Okay. All right. Now we can expand. So 15i, I have to times with 1 over 3 square root 34. It means you just take 15, divide with 3 square root 34. So you get 5 over square root 34i. And then repeat the same process. 9 divide 3, 3 over square root 34j. So this is your unit vector. That's your unit vector. All right. For my third question, number 3, they want to find angle AOB. So I need space. Okay, I think I will do it down here. This one is A3. Okay, so A1, A2, A3. Okay, A3 dia nak cari sudut AOB. Mana AOB? Here, right? So I want to find this. Let's call this X for now. Okay, how do you find the angle here? Wait, I'm doing vector, right? How come vector they ask to find angle? Let's think about this. Okay. Did they give us the magnitude? Well, we have the magnitude of OB, which is 3 square root 34. So we know the length here. The panjang here is 3 square root 34. So that's good. I know this. Okay, what if I find the magnitude here and find the magnitude here? And then use cosine rule lah. Yeah. Okay, actually we have to use the formula we learned in Form 4 chapter 10. The solution of triangle chapter, the cosine rule formula. Okay. But sir, I thought this is a vector question. Yes, but that's the only way to find angle AOB. Yeah, you must use the apa? The cosine rule formula. Okay. You cannot use Pythagoras theorem. You cannot use Socator or Pythagoras theorem is because this is not a right angle triangle. Yeah, dia tak ada 90 degree, right? If it's got 90 degree, then maybe I can like use the sin constant, right? Socator, right? But it's not a right angle. Yeah, dia tak ada 90 degree pun dekat sini. So the only way is to use cosine rule. That's the only way. But before using cosine rule, I need to have all 3 sides of this triangle. I already know this side, OB magnitude, but I need to find my magnitude of AB. So it will be square root bracket square plus bracket square, and then the bracket will be the ij number before ij. So 12 square plus 5 square. Okay, this one you press, you get 13 units. Next one is find the magnitude of OA. Square root bracket square plus bracket square, so 3 square plus 4 square. And this one you get 5 units. So now you know the length here is 5 units, and you know the length here is 13 units, and you know the length here is 3 square root 34. And when you have all 3 sides of the triangle and you're trying to find the angle, you can use cosine rule. Yeah, this is one of the case where you can use cosine rule. Okay, there's only 2 cases where you can use cosine rule. Let me mention the 2 case for you. First case yang boleh guna cosine rule is when they give you 2 sides and one included angle and ask you to find the side opposite. Another case where you can use cosine rule is when they give you 3 sides and asking you to find any angle dalam. Okay, yeah, there's only 2 cases that can use cosine rule. Okay, and if you memorize this, yeah, it's very easy for you to recognize the case yang boleh guna cosine rule. So there's only these 2 cases. So this is one of the case lah. When they give you 3 sides, cari angle. Alright. When you use cosine rule, the formula looks like this. A square equals B square plus C square minus 2BC cos A. This is the formula you learn in Form 4 chapter 10. Okay. The B and C, if you terbalik tulis tak apa. Yeah, that one no problem. But the most important thing is the A you jangan silap, because if the A silap, then the whole thing wrong already. So how to know the A? There's one method. look at the depan angle. Look at opposite angle. So opposite angle is this one, then this is your A. If your angle is here, then the A will be here. So your small a will always be opposite angle. So where's your angle? Here, right? So opposite angle, that's your A, 13, right? So 13 square equals what? The other two side will be 5 square and 3 square root 34. So 5 square plus 3 square root 34 square. But I have to put bracket. Yeah, because the 3 also have to square. And then minus 2bc. B is 5. C is 3 square root 34. And then cos A, the A is this angle, the angle X. But let's call it angle AOB. Yeah, let's call it angle AOB. All right, now we can do this. Okay, we are trying to find this. We're trying to find this. So the way I teach my student is I will ask them to separate it here and then pindah these two to the other side. Yeah, that's how I teach my students. Okay. So I will tekan 13 square minus 5 square minus 3 square root 34 square. Okay. Okay, what is 3 square root 34 square? 306. And then 5 square is just 25. So 25 plus answer. And then 13 square, which is 169 minus answer. So negative 162. Okay, I'm pressing my calculator. So negative 2 times 5 times 3 square root 34. Negative 174.928. So 93. Okay, and then here is cos AOB. Okay, now the cos AOB, I'll leave it here. Okay, I'll use the answer button. Negative 162 divide answer. Negative 162 divide answer. Yeah, use the answer button, is more accurate. 0.9261. I'll write 4 significant figure. And then shift cos answer. 22.17 degree. But I usually write in degree minute. So 22 degree 10 minutes. Yeah, so 22 degree 10 minute is the answer. So I write here angle AOB 22 degree 10 minutes. In decimal is 22.1. Wait, what? 10 minutes. Why I write 18? Silap. This one is 10. Okay, so if you write in decimal, it's 22.17, but I write in degree minute. Okay, one more thing I want to mention. Whenever you tekan shift cos or shift sin or shift tangent, you have to be aware that there's actually two answers. There's actually two answers. And if you want to know where's the second answer, you consider the quadrant. Add sugar to coffee. Cos answer positive, so it's 1 and 4. But I didn't write the fourth quadrant answer because the fourth quadrant answer would be 360 degree minus with this. But how can this angle be quadrant 4? It's inside a triangle, bro. If it's inside a triangle, means the angle will surely be less than 180, right? It's either quadrant 1 or quadrant 2. It cannot be. How can this angle be 200 lebih? No, it's not possible. Because the sum of the three angles should be 180. So takkanlah satu angle dia seorang sini sudah 200 lebih. That is why we never take the quadrant 4 answer. Okay? But it's still important to know that there's actually another hidden answer here. Okay? We just rejected it. That's why I never write it. Okay? Yeah. But if you're doing like trigonometry chapter, then you have to write the other answer also. Okay, but this one is the triangle one, so that's why I didn't write. Okay, but I hope you are aware of that too. You know that too because it's important. Okay, let's do B. R is a point such that CR is 3i plus 7j, so I'm gonna write that. Okay, not enough space. Let's make some space. Ding 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 ding. Okay, good. All right, so I will do B here. CR vector 3i plus 7j. All right, got it. Number one, find AR. I'm sure I have to use this information, CR, but do I have AC? Because if I have AC, then I can do AC plus CR. Let's go. Do I have AC? No, I don't have that. So, but can I find it? Can I find it? The answer is yes. Yeah, I can find it easily. Let's go. AC plus CR. You know why I can find it? Because the AC vector is from here to here, right? So just go AO plus OC. So it will be negative. Oh my god. What is this? This one is 3i plus 4j. Okay, AC like that. Okay, or I go like that lah. AB plus BC. Right? AB plus BC. So it will be 12i plus 5j. Right? So let me do this right here. Okay lah, I just do it separately lah. I don't want to find AR first. I find AC first. Yeah. So I find AC, so I do AB plus BC. Okay. AB plus BC. And then it will be 12i plus 5j. That's the AB. And then plus with BC. Okay, CB is 3i plus 4j. So BC will be negative 3i minus 4j. Like that. Okay. And you can actually just remove the bracket. because it's plus, right? So if it's plus, then yeah, nothing happened, nothing happened. But if it's minus here, then you have to be careful, because if it's minus here, you have to change sign for everyone inside the bracket. Okay, okay, but this one no need. So 12i minus 3i is 9i, and then 5j minus 4j is just 1j. Okay, now you have your AC. Now let's find AR. Now let's find AR. So AR, you can do AC plus CR. AC plus CR. So the AC vector is 9i plus j, and then the CR vector is 3i plus 7j. Okay, so this is your AC vector. This is your CR vector. And when you take AC plus CR, you get AR lah. Okay, 9i plus 3i is 12i. 1j plus 7j, that's 8j. So the answer is 12i plus 8j. Yeah. All right, I'm done with that. Now for the final part, number two. Hence determine whether OA and R are collinear. Collinear means segaris. It means determine whether they are on the same line or not lah. Okay, how to do this? Okay, OAR are collinear. Let's go to the diagram. Okay, so we have OA. There's another point which is R, but the R is not in this diagram because R is a new point that comes in, right? So in order to prove that the OAR are collinear, okay, let's say this is O, this is A, this is R. If you want to prove that they are collinear, it means you want to prove that any two vector along this line is parallel. I repeat one more time. If you want to determine whether the OAR are collinear or not, you need to take any two vectors along this line, any two vectors, and prove that they are parallel. Because if any two vectors along this line are parallel, then they are collinear already, right? Okay, what do I mean by any two vectors? It means you can maybe find vector OA and AR, or maybe OA and OR also can, or maybe RA, RO can. It can be any two vectors along this line, right? Any two. But if you're smart, you will choose AR because you already have the AR vector 12i plus 8j. And for the other one, you can either choose OA or OR. But if you look at the previous part, you realize you already have what? You already have OA, right? Which is 3i plus 4j, right? So why not just use that OA? 3i plus 4j. So now you have your two vector. You have the AR vector and OA. But tak semestinya you ambil OA tau. Tak semestinya you kena ambil OA and AR. It can be OA and OR also can one. Yeah. Yeah, just any two vectors along this line lah. Okay, now you have your two vectors. Now how do you prove that whether they are parallel or not? Okay, to prove that they are parallel or not, you have to do this step. You have to take these two vector equal and then letak lambda. Okay, yeah, you put lambda is because the lambda represents the ratio, and later you have to find the lambda value. If the lambda value for both sides, because later you will masuk the OA vector or AR vector, and then you can compare. And after you compare, if the lambda answer on both sides is same, then we say that it's parallel. But after you compare, if your lambda answer not same for both sides, then it's not parallel. And if it's not parallel, means your OAAR is facing like different direction. So if different direction means they are not collinear lah. Not parallel means not collinear. Okay. So yeah, that's the steps. Alright. So now let's do it. OA masuk 3i plus 4j. Lambda times AR. Okay, I'll just do it fast lah. I don't want to do slow. So just straight away times become 12 lambda I plus 8 lambda j. And now I will compare. I will compare. I will compare I with I, J with J. So it becomes 3 equals 12 lambda. And later I'll try to find my lambda here. And then J with J is 4 equals 8 lambda. Now I will find lambda on both sides. If the lambda on both sides give you the same value, that means they are parallel. Okay. So the lambda here is 4 divided 8, 1 over 2. The lambda here is 3 divided 12, 1 over 4. As you can see, the lambda is not the same. Right? Okay, let's call this lambda 1 and lambda 2 because they're not same, right? So the reason I call it lambda 1, lambda 2 is because I want to write in my final answer, I want to write since lambda 1 is not equals to lambda 2, that means what? OA cannot equals to AR, right? Yeah, it means they are not parallel lah. So I can say OA uh, OA vector and AR vector are not parallel. But that's not what the question asked for. The question asked for whether they are collinear, right? So I write titik and then since this one, therefore points OA and R will never be collinear. Are not collinear. Yeah, because if they are not parallel, imagine if OA and AR are not parallel, it means they are not facing the same direction. So definitely they will not be on the same line, right? Yeah. So it's not. So how they ask, determine whether OAR are collinear. So my answer is OAR not collinear, and that's the reason. So I have to write not equal. Okay, yeah. Yeah, luckily I noticed my careless mistake. Not equal, right? Yeah, lambda 1 is not equal to lambda 2. That's why OA, AR not parallel. Okay, now imagine if the both lambda 1, lambda 2 is the same value. Let's say both is 1 over 2, 1 over 2. That means the 1 over 2 you can sub inside here already. It means your OA is 1 over 2 AR. And when two vector can equal like that means they are parallel. Yeah. So dalam dunia vector, kalau dua vector tu boleh sama dengan, they are parallel. They are parallel. The number is just the number lambda. That's just the ratio. Yeah, that's just the ratio. Okay, but this one is not parallel lah because the lambda value is not same on both sides, right? Okay, so this is how you should do it. Okay, that's it. That's all. Okay, let's do number 11. What chapter? This looks like a circular measure from 5 chapter 1. Okay, dalam bahasa Melayu, sukatan bulatan. Let's go. Diagram 4 shows a circle with center O. Alright, I see it. And the radius 10 cm. Let's label lah. Radius is from center, tarik to the side. So tarik to the side of circle is 10, tarik to the side is 10. And yeah, that's all. And then KL, KN 15. Let's label KL here 15. KN is here 15. Okay. LON is 2.89 radian. Okay, so here is 2.89. But they give you in radian. Okay, actually, if they give you this 2.89, you can actually find the angle here and also find the angle here, right? But what if the question never asked to do it? I don't care. I will find it. I will actually find this now. So how to find this is just take 2.89 divide 2. Yeah, this one you learn in maths. When you have center, you tarik satu radius, and then these two radius on the these 2 points on the circumference, if you tarik to the side, this angle and this angle will be, this will be 2x, this will be x. Yeah, so that's why you can take 2.89 divide 2 to get the angle here. So I write in 4 significant figure 1.445, and it will be in radian also, because this one is in radian so divide 2 also in radian. And how to find this? Okay, this one you can take 2 pi minus. Yeah, because one whole circle is 360 degree, but in radian is 2 pi. So you can take 2 pi minus with 2.89 to get the angle here. Okay, okay, let's see what the question wants first. Okay, A, they want the length of arc LKN. So let me highlight it for you first. LKN. So it's this arc lah. Oh, so big the arc. Oh my god, it's like that. Alright, so I'm sure I have to use this as the center lah. Yeah, so I have to find the arc from here to here, right? Oh my god. So it's like that. Okay, I'm trying to find this arc right here. So I think I will use the formula r theta, but the radius is 10, I know that. But the theta cannot 2.89, it has to be here. So let's find the theta now. So the theta, how to write this? Uh, okay, I'll just write theta. I'll just call it theta lah, whatever lah. Okay? Just call it theta equals 2 pi minus 2.89. Yeah, because it's in radian. So you take 2 pi minus 2.89. You don't take 360 minus. If you take 360 minus, you get 358 point something or 357 point something, but doesn't even make sense. The 2.89 is in radian, so you have to minus radian. Okay, okay, the pi I will use 3.142. So tekan 2 times 3.142 minus 2.89. Okay, my calculator give me, wait, I'm pressing the calculator. 3.394. That's what my calculator give me. So write radian lah. Okay, now I know the angle for the major sector. So this is the major sector, 3.394. So now to find the arc, LKN, which is the major arc, I just take r theta lah. So r is 10 times theta, 3.394. And when you use this formula, memang you punya angle kena dalam radian. That's why you don't need to convert it. It's nice really. So you get 33.94 cm. Okay, that's it. Now for B. So B, what they want? Perimeter of the major LMNK. Okay, I think there's something wrong with the question. Because in the Bahasa Melayu, they say perimeter tembering. But in the English, they write major. Alright, let me tell you what is tembering. Tembering is segment. Tembering dalam Bahasa Melayu is segment. Okay. So I think they forgot the word segment here. So the question actually asks for perimeter of major segment LMNK. Yeah, perimeter tembering LMNK. And it's the major segment. Okay. So let me use red color to highlight for you. So segment, okay, let's talk about segment first. Yeah, let's talk about tembearing first. So tembearing is this right here. So let's say this is center and this is a sector, right? But I'm gonna use dotted line. Yeah, I'm gonna use dotted line. So let's say this is center, this is the radius, right? And this line right here is the arc. And this line right here, we call it the chord. And the area in between, this is called the segment. In Bahasa Melayu, tembearing, right? And segment always consists of two lines. Yeah, segment, there's only two. The shape, the segment shape, only surrounded by two lines. And the two lines is the chord and the arc, right? So if they want to find perimeter of segment LMNK, I need to find out the arc. I need to find out the region will be between the arc LMNK and the chord. So let's find out where is LMNK. So LMNK is here, right? So I'll use red color. So the arc LMNK is this. But where is the chord? This one, right? So the area, the region is this one. That's the segment they're asking, right? So find perimeter of major segment LMNK. The segment LMNK is this is the segment, right? Yeah, segment always consists of two lines, uh, arc and chord. So this is the region, but they never ask to find area, so you don't go and use the area segment formula. They ask for perimeter. So what you have to do when you find perimeter, you will just take this one plus this one lah. It means for the perimeter, you will take the arc LMNK plus with the chord, and the chord is LK. Okay, yeah, that's how you find the perimeter of the red color segment. Okay, for the chord LK, I know it's 15 already, right? But the arc, how you supposed to find the arc here? Can I take 33.94? I don't think so. 33.94 is here to here, but I want the red color one. But will it be the same? Let me think. So 33.94 is here. What if I tarik a line like that, and then this one divide two. Let me think, guys. 10 okay lah. I think Uh, I have to. I have to find it. Find it again lah. So to find the red color arc from here to here, I will. Okay, I know from arc from L to K, I can. I mean from L to N, I can find it. It's just 10 times 2.89, right? 10 times 2.89, because that's the arc from here to here. Okay, you just use r theta lah. But you still have to plus with this, right? Plus with like here to here. But from here to here is 33.94 divide 2 lah. Yeah. 33.94 because 33.94 is the yellow color one, right? And it's from here to here. And if you cut this in half, it's just divide by 2 lah. Okay. Of course, you can do slowly. You can cut and then take this one divide 2 and then do the r theta formula again. But I'm not gonna do that because I know already it would be same answer with this, and this method is way faster. So yeah, I will just do it like that. So let me explain one more time. The 10 times 2.89 is to find the arc here to here, right? And then 33.94 divide 2, because 33.94 is from here to here, but you cut it in half. So you get here lah. And then plus with 15 to get the perimeter. Yeah. That's good. Okay, let's go 28.9 plus, what is this? 33.94 divide 2. I'm pressing my calculator, 16.97. And then plus 15. And for my final answer, plus this. Okay, 60.87. But of course, you have to write cm lah, because this one is perimeter ma. So that is the answer. Okay, that's my B working. Now for my final one is the C, area of shaded region. Okay, I need space. I'll do it here. So this one I'll erase. Okay, area of shaded region. Where's the shaded? It's here, it's here, it's here. And let me tell you, this shape is called the segment. Yeah, and there's 3 segments. Okay, the shaded region is actually 3 segments. Why I say it's a segment? Because the region is in between an arc and a chord. So you can just find area of segment plus area of segment plus area of segment. But these 3 segments will not be same size. Only this segment and this segment same size. Yeah, because as you can see, 10. Actually, I'm not sure. 3.394 divide 2. Yeah, it's not same size. It's not same size because the angle here is also not same. Like the angle here is not same with the angle here. So definitely this segment and this segment not same size. Yeah. So you can find the area of segments separately and then plus together, but that's very slow. That's very slow. I can see there's a very fast way to do it, which is by finding the area of full circle and then minus of triangle. And for the triangle, I'll use 1 over 2 AB sine C, and I already have AB and the sine included angle. Yeah, it's way faster, right? Yeah, because this triangle, you already have two sides and included angle. But if you use the 1 over 2 AB sine C formula, the angle has to be in degree. So let's change the angle to degree now. So what angle is this? LKN, right? So angle LKN, I will write the 1.445, but this one is in radian. So let's change to degree times 180 over pi 3.142. Okay, let's change this to degree. Okay, I'm pressing the calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 82.78, but I usually write in degree minute. So 82 degree 47 minutes. So that's the angle in degree. Now you can find the area of shaded region. First is find the area of circle. Okay, area of full circle, everyone should know this. The formula is pi r square. Yeah, this one you learn in form 2, form 3 also you learn already. That's how you find area of circle, pi r square. But the pi I will use 3.142 and then times with radius square. The radius for circle is 10. Okay, so 10 square. But you have to minus with the triangle. So the triangle is this one, this one, this one. This one is the triangle, right? Okay, this is not a right angle triangle because there's no 90 degree. Of course, you can cut it so it becomes 90 lah, but you don't need to do that. Just use the Addmaths formula you learn in solution of triangle 1 over 2 AB sine C. And for the AB, I will not use this because I don't have the length here, but I have the 15, 15. So 15, 15, that's the two sides. And then the included angle in between is this one. And I convert to degree already, 82 degree 47. So this is how you find the area of triangle. Okay, 3.142 times 100, 314.2. And then this one I press calculator lah. Okay, sine answer. And then times 15 times 15 divide 2. Okay, 111.60. Wait, what? Okay, 111.61 lah. 111.61. But it's not over yet. I still have to minus. But I'll use the answer button because it will be more accurate. Okay, 202.59. Okay, but this one I have to write cm square already because it's area, right? Cm square. Okay, I'm done with 11. Yay. I'm done. Let's continue. Okay, now let's do bahagian C. So bahagian ini mengandungi 4 soalan, jawab 2 soalan. Okay, I will not do the kinematic question. Okay, yeah, so I will only do the 3 question. Okay, I will not do the kinematic. Okay, number 12. This one is definitely from 4 chapter 10. This triangle. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Diagram 5 shows. Wait, chapter 9 lah. Silap. Sorry, sorry. Okay, diagram 5 shows triangle ABC and triangle CDE. Okay, I can see 2 triangle. Okay, I can see that the first triangle has more information. No, actually, yeah. You have 2 angle, 1 side, right? And you can see there's 1 complete pair here. What's the meaning of 1 complete pair? It means you have the side and you have the angle opposite, right? That's what you call a complete pair. So you can actually use sine rule to find opposite 48 here, right? But let's not do that first. I'm just like going through the diagram. And one more thing, if you have these 2 angles, you can find this angle, right? Yeah, and let's find it. Yeah, let's find it. I don't care whether the question asks for it or not. I'll just find it. Okay. So if we find it now, then later, if we end up using it, then we don't have to find it again, right? So it's better to always just find whatever you can before going to the before reading the question. So this one is 69 because 180 minus this 69. Okay, and if this is 69, this is also 69 because this is opposite angle, right? So opposite angle mesti sama one. So if I have a X shape, this angle and this angle mesti same. This angle atas bawah also same, right? So that's why it's 69 here. And also, if you look at this triangle you have 2 sides and 1 included angle, and this is one of the case for cosine rule. Yeah, when you have 2 sides and 1 included angle, and you can find the side opposite here using the cosine rule formula. Okay, so let's see what I want. A, calculate the length of BC and DE. So BC, so BC is this one. Use sine rule lah. I just told you just now, right? Even before reading it, I already see it already. I can already see I can find BCD. So you will use sine rule. Kenapa boleh guna sign rule? Because you have the opposite of what you want to find, and also you have one complete pair. Yeah, that's the condition you need to satisfy if you want to use sign rule. Huh? So when you have opposite of what you want, okay, what you want now, BC, right? So the opposite of what you want is 48. And then you have one complete pair. So can you sign rule? So BC over sine 48 equals to 12 over sine 63. Okay. And then now your BC will be this one, divide this times this. Alright, so you get 10.01. Okay, I write four significant figure also. Okay. Yeah, that's how I always do it. I always write four significant figures. Unless it's the graph question lah. If I want to plot the point in the graph paper, then I will write two decimal place. Okay, now let's do second question. They want to find DE. Okay, let's label the first one BC 10.01 because maybe later we will use this, right? So let's label it. Okay, now let's do the second one, how to find DE. Okay, if I want to find this DE, that means I will use cosine rule. Yeah, that means I will use cosine rule. And I will use this triangle. Okay. Okay, why can use cosine rule? Because you have the other two sides and the included angle. So yeah, this is the definitely the case to use cosine rule. So how to write the cosine rule formula? Okay, the formula is like this: a square equals b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. Okay, okay, what you have to be careful here is the a. Okay, the bc no need to worry too much because the bc even if you terbalik tulis also nothing will happen one. But the small a, if you write wrong that one, then the whole thing wrong already. And there is one method to determine the A quickly. So the small a will always be the depan angle. Okay, the small a will always be the side that is opposite the angle. So the angle is here, right? So opposite angle, this one is the A. So DE is your A. Okay, DE is your A. So DE square equals to what? The other side square, 5 square plus 7 square minus 2 times 5 times 7 times cos the angle, 69. Alright, now I want to press this. Okay, the way I will press is I will press everything sekaligus. Okay, and then this square pun pindah jadi square root, right? And then I will tekan all this in my calculator. Okay, but don't tekan the square root first. Just tekan all this, everything inside, key in everything, and tekan equal, and they will give you 48.91, right? And now I'll press square root answer, and I got 6.994, right? Four significant figure also lah, I write. Alright, that's all. Now let's do B. Okay, point C prime lies on A. Okay, this is definitely ambiguous case. Yeah, this is definitely ambiguous case. So C prime lies on AE. Okay, where's AE? Let's highlight A to E, and they say C prime. Okay, so definitely this is point C, right? So definitely your point C have to definitely your point C have to move, right? Have to move to another position, but it's somewhere on this line, right? Because they already said C prime lies on AE. So C has to move, don't know whether move left or right. Maybe move left, maybe move right, don't know. Such that DC is DC prime. Okay, there's a condition here. The DC line and the DC prime line should be same length, which is 5 cm lah. Okay. Now they says number one, sketch the triangle AC prime D. So is it possible for my C to move to the left? The answer is no. Because when I move to the left, imagine you want to make the DC line stay the same. So yeah, it's not possible, right? Because the moment if I move here, you can see my DC line is not the same already. You can see the 5 cm is not 5 cm, and the more you move, the longer it gets, right? So definitely it's not like that. Yeah, definitely your C prime will not be somewhere here. It will not be somewhere here. It should be somewhere here. Okay. Yeah, so your C prime actually have to move here. And how do you move it is you can imagine this is the center of circle and this is the radius of circle. And when you move it, it actually become like that. And this is your C prime. Okay. If you draw the full circle, it will look something like this. Okay, it's very ugly, but you get the idea. So this is the center, this is the radius. So the moment you move here, right, you will actually go down, right? But eventually it will touch the CE line because they said the C prime has to lie on AE. Yeah, so this is your C prime lah. Okay, so let me erase everything and put everything nicely. So your C prime is actually somewhere here. Okay, but it has to be, the condition has to be what? The DC prime still same length, 5 cm, 5 cm, and also the C prime is on this line lah. Okay, okay. Now that I know the position already, now I can sketch the AC prime D. So the AC prime D will be like this, like this, like this. Or I have to draw another line myself lah. All right, so let's draw it now. So the first line will be like this. Okay, I'll just make it horizontal. I know it's not horizontal, but it's sengit, right? But it's okay. I'll just make it horizontal. And this line is like, this has to be acute angle. Yeah, because this angle same. So I cannot draw like that. It has to be acute angle, so something like that. But it's not that long, so maybe like that. And this line will be very long. So like that. Okay, maybe make it long a bit. Yeah. Okay, this looks okay. This like this is okay. So this is your A, right? And then tarik to C prime, which is here. And then this one is wait. So this one is C prime, and this one on top is D lah. And where is your C? Your C is actually here. Yeah, you see it's actually, so this is the original triangle. Yeah, the original triangle. But the ambiguous case is the big one lah. Okay. Okay, with that being said, now we can do question 2 lah. I'm sure question 2 they will ask to find information on this triangle. Yeah. So state AC prime D. So we will transfer some information inside. So they want to find this angle. But actually we know already this angle is 69. Okay. How come I know so fast? Because we can refer from here. You see, this one is 69. This one automatic is 69 also. So AC prime D 69. Okay. So this is 69. So I'll just write 69 degrees here. And that's it. Right? Yeah, that's all. Okay, third question. Calculate the area of triangle AC prime D. Okay, also I need some information lah. Okay, so actually we know the line here 5 cm, right? Okay, later the area formula would be 1/2 AB sine C. So yeah, we need two sides and one included angle. So let's see what other information we can transfer. 69 is here. Okay, what about the 12? I don't think that the one. Okay, 12 is like A to C only. So that's not AC prime, So how, okay, imagine if this one like that. So this one is 69. This one is isosceles, right? So this will be 5 also. 12 is from here to here. This is your C. Okay, I need two sides and one included angle. I have this side. Alright, I think I will find this side right here. Yeah, I'll find this side right here. Because after I have this side, then I can plus with 12 to get the whole side. And then I will take the whole side times with this. And then and then we have the included angle. So I can use 1/2 AB sine C formula to find the area lah. Okay. Okay, but the problem is how to find the CC prime line. Very simple, because this is an isosceles triangle and we can use sine rule. But first we need the angle opposite first. Yeah. So how to get the angle opposite? 180 minus 69 minus 69. Okay, you get 42. So this angle is 42. So now you use sine rule. Why can you use sine rule? Because you have the opposite of what you want. Because you want to find this side and you have the opposite angle. And also you have one complete pair. Okay. So yeah, let's go. C prime over sine 42 equals to complete pair 5 over sine 69. Now your CC prime answer in four significant figure 3.584 cm. But that one is the panjang here, right? I still need to find the area. So now we can find the area easily already. So the area of triangle AC prime D, which is the whole triangle. Okay, let's use the formula 1/2 AB sine C. Yeah, because this is not a right angle triangle, so you cannot do 1/2 times base times height. Okay, so we will do a bit different formula. So the AB sine C formula. So the A will be 5. That's one of the side. And the other side will be 12 plus 3.584, which is 15.584. And then sine included angle 69. Now it's time to press all this. And then we will get our answer here from here. So what's the answer? 36.37. Okay, right in four significant figure also lah. So that's all. Right? So this is how I would do it. Hope you understand. Okay, let's continue. Let's move on. Okay, 13. Okay, this one have to use graph paper. Yeah, this is a linear programming, right? Form 5, chapter 7. Okay, linear programming. Dalam bahasa Melayu, pengatur caraan linear. Okay, let's read. A factory wants to hire new employees for the position of supervisor and operator. Okay, when we are doing this, the way I teach my student, I always teach my student like this. I always said, write the arrow. Okay, the first arrow will be X, the second arrow will be Y. So your mission now, your job now is to find out who is X, who is Y. Okay, yeah. So let's try to find out who's X, who's Y. So money amounting 32,000 has been allocated. Okay, whenever you see the word allocated, it means smaller or equals. Okay, smaller equals allocated, smaller equals. Okay, for the monthly salary payment of employees. So this is the maximum lah. Okay. The salary of supervisor and operator is 600 and 400. Okay, but I don't care about all this information. What I care about is separate X, separate Y dulu. So for now, I will just underline it. Later, I will come back to it, but not now. Now I'll just keep reading. Per month, respectively, the number of operator must exceed number of supervisor by 10 or more. Okay, I know this is important because we can write the inequality from this line, but I don't want to know all this first. I need to know who's X, separate Y. So the number of supervisors should be at least 10% of number of operator. Okay, that one standby dulu. Given that X represents number of supervisor and Y represents operator. Yeah, so this is what I want to know. So you can see X represents supervisor. So what I write here? Supervisor arrow, and then operator arrow, and the supervisor is X, operator is Y. Correct? And the XY represents the number. So I can put hashtag symbol. This symbol means number lah, bilangan. Okay, now baru I baca balik everything I miss atas here. Okay, so I remember they mentioned about 600 for salary, right? But that one is salary for supervisor, and supervisor is X, so the salary will be 600X. Yeah, because this is 600 for one supervisor, and you have X supervisor, you have to times X. 400 is the salary for one operator, but if you have Y operator, times Y, 400Y. And this one is the salary in RM. Okay, so the title is RM. Okay, I think now we can write the first inequality from here already, which is the 32,000, right? So, but actually, if you read A, they never ask you to write the inequality, right? B baru dia suruh lukis. Yeah, B they says write two inequalities, right? But I don't care lah. I'll just do B first. Yeah. So this question actually they never follow the format. Yeah. If they follow format, A will be write inequality, and then B is draw graph, and then C is the slide question, right? But this one actually A says the shaded region represents one of the constraint, right? Inequality. It means they already draw one of the line for you lah. Okay. Yeah, but it's okay. I'll just do B first. Yeah, I'll just do B first. So let's do B now. So I think I should make it smaller. Okay, so to do B, we need to use this 32,000 has been allocated. So I already told you it's smaller equals, but that one is RM, right? So you have to take the total RM also. So it's 600X plus 400Y. Okay, yeah. So the money amounting 32,000 has been allocated for the monthly salary for the employees. So it means for both the supervisor operator lah. So you add them, and then smaller equals 32,000. Okay, kalau boleh kecilkan, boleh simplify, kena simplify. All these numbers can divide with 200. So divide 200 is 3x, divide 200, 2y, divide 200, 160. So that's your first inequality. But they say got 2, right? So there should be one more. Okay, where is it? Yeah, from here, the number of operator must exceed number of supervisor by 10 or more. This one. So what's the meaning of operator exceed? Sorry, yeah lah, operator exceed supervisor. It means operator must be more than supervisor, and the difference has to be 10 or more. It means you find the difference lah, y minus x. But when you find the difference, you have to take besar tolak kecil. And which one besar is operator? Because they already say operator exceeds supervisor by 10 or more. So definitely operator besar. So when you find the difference, has to be y minus x. Bukan x minus y, y minus x. And when you take y minus x, the difference must be 10 or more. So 10 or more means bigger equals 10 lah. So there you have it. That's your second one, right? Hey, but there's another one, right? Number of supervisors should be at least 10% of the number of operator. But why they say got 2 only here? Okay, it's okay, whatever. I'll just write all three first. Okay, number of supervisors should be at least 10%. Okay, supervisor is X or Y. Number of supervisor is, we use X to represent that. So X at least is bigger or equals 10% of the number of operator, which is 10 over 100 times with Y. Okay. All right, this one you can simplify. It become 1 over 10, right? And actually, that's the answer already. X bigger equals 1 over 10Y. Okay. Okay. If you want to get rid of the fraction, can also. Just the 10 just pindah here jadi times 10 lah. So it becomes 10x bigger equals y, right? Okay, so you can write it like that, or you want to write it like that also can. 1 out of 10y like that. Okay, but usually I prefer when I prefer the one without fraction. Okay, yeah. Okay, I know some students, they will say like that. They will say, hey sir, I thought you have to write in this format like y equal mx plus c. So the y and 10x you have to flip. So the bigger now becomes smaller. Okay, if you write like that, can also. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. What's important here is you have to shade below this line because it's smaller equals, right? Yeah, you have to shade below this line. If I know it says bigger equals here, but you have to make sure your y is positive. And if your y is okay, your y is positive, but if it's on the right side, you have to take out from here. You have to take out from here. So that's why it's smaller. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the important part. Okay, so anyways, let's continue. I'll just leave it like that. All right. They said two inequality, but there's three. So I don't know why. Okay, but it's okay. Let's just do A and C. A says the shaded region on the graph on page 31 represents one of the constraint. Right and equality. Yo, what the hell is equality? It's inequality lah. So this one is like they type wrongly, yeah. It's inequality. Dalam bahasa Melayu ketaksamaan. So right and inequality to represent the constraint. So confirm later when I scroll to the graph, mesti they already draw one line and they already shade for me. And my job is to convert that back to the inequality. Inequality means this one lah, like that lah, like got smaller, bigger, like that, right? Okay, so let's go to the graph. So as you can see, yeah, they already draw one line. So how do you find the inequality? First, you need to know the equation of this line first, right? Yeah. So when you find equation, you need to have the gradient and the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept I already know is 10. Okay, but the gradient you need to use the gradient formula y minus y over x minus x, but you have to choose 2 points on the line. So I can choose the first point 0, 10. The next one I can choose 10, 20. So 0, 10, 10, 20. That's the 2 points I will use to find the gradient. 0, 10, 10, 20. So let's go. 0, 10, 10, 20. So the m gradient will be 10 minus 20, y minus y over x minus x, 0 minus 10. So here will be negative 10, negative 10. Your gradient is 1. And your gradient is 1 means your equation will be y equals mx plus c. So y equals 1x plus c. But your c is 10. So that's your equation. Y equals x plus 10. Okay, now it's time to put in the inequality. So bigger or smaller? Bigger. Why bigger? Because the shaded region is above the line. Above the line. And since it's a solid line, you have to put equals. Right? So you can see the shaded region is above and it's a solid line. Right? It's not a dashed line. It's not a dotted line. That is why we have to put equal here. Okay. Oh, I think I see already. Okay, wait. This one and this one is same, right? Because y minus x bigger equals 10 is the same lah. Because the minus x you move there, it become x plus 10 already. That means oh, so now I understand really why the B says write two inequalities. Because this one they already draw for me, right? So I think I will just cross out this one lah. Yeah. So the two inequality is this and this one lah, right? So that's why they say write two inequality other than x bigger 0, y bigger 0 satisfy above constraint. So it's this one and this one lah. That's your answer. Because this one they already draw for me. Okay. All right. So I'm done with A. I'm done with B. Now it's time to do C. So they say use scale of 2 cm to 5 and 2 cm to 10. Wait, why are they telling me this? They already draw the axis for me, right? It's already there. 2 cm to 5, 2 cm to 10. So everything they mention here is redundant. We don't care. We don't need this, right? So we just have to construct and label the region R that satisfy the above constraint. Okay. So we definitely have to draw the remaining two lines lah, because the one line they already draw for us. Okay, so the first line we have to draw is this 3x plus 2y. Let's change this sign to equal first because I'm trying to draw the line now. Okay, later when I shade the region, then only I look at the sign. So I will let this whole thing let the 3x plus 2y equals 160, and then I will open bracket, find the coordinate because later I have to plot and draw the line. Okay, and the next one also I have to let 10x equals y, and then do the same thing. I have to find coordinates because later need to plot. All right, usually we find points, we will sub x0 y0. So when I sub x0, 0 times 3 is 0, so 2y equals 160. Y is 160 divided by 2, which is 80. When I sub y0, 0 times 2 is 0, so x will be 160 divided by 3, but you will end up getting decimal, so I don't like that point. So later I will change to another point. But let's not think about it now first. Let's go to the next one. Later we will come back to it. Okay, this one we do x0. So if your x0, your y will be 0 times 10, which is 0. But if you sub y0, you get back x0 also. So we have to choose another point for that. Okay, but it's okay. Let's plot the 0, 80 first. So 0, 80 is definitely here. Okay, I'll use red color so that it's more visible for you. But you don't use red pen. In the exam, you use pencil. Okay, 0, 80, that's the first point. The other point, what I can do, I can find another point. Okay. Okay, how to find another point? The way I teach my student, I always tell them, make your X or Y single first. Either one, suka hati. Okay, let's make the X single. So if I want to make X single, how? 160 plus 2y, move that, become 2y, minus 2y, and then times 3 become over 3. And this one I have to put in y inside, right? So I can just go to my graph and choose any y value I want, right? But don't choose 80 lah. Yeah, because y80 you already know what will happen already. Yeah, if you put y80, your x will be 0. So since your first point is somewhere atas here, so the next point I will find it somewhere down here. Yeah, so I can choose maybe 10, 20 or 30, either one. Let's just try with 10, 20 or 30. Okay, let's try with 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 160 minus 20 is 140. But 140 divide 3, that's going to be decimal, so not very good. Let's do 20. 20 times 2 is 40. 160 minus 40, 120. 120 divide 3, 40. Oh, I actually get a nice number right here. So I can use this point. X 40, Y 20. Yeah, that is my point. So it's 40, 20. Not 20, 40. Sometimes students also bought careless here. Oh, wait, tak ada 40 lah. Okay lah, actually can lah, because here is 35 mah, so 40 is here lah. So you plot on the side lah. So yeah, boleh, boleh, boleh. Okay. Okay, now it's time to join. And whenever you join, you should always ask yourself whether it's a solid line or dash line. Okay, but this one is solid line lah. And why is it solid line? Because they got put equal. They got put equal. Okay. Yeah. So the equation is 3x plus 2y. Okay, come, I show you. You remember they got put equal here. You see 3x plus 2y smaller or equal 160. Okay. So that means you have to use solid line lah, because got the equal. Okay, let's write the equation nicely. 3x plus 2y equal 160. So equal 160. And later I have to shade below this line because it's smaller equals, right? So later your R will be here or here lah. Okay, actually it won't be here. You know why? Because you have to make sure uh it overlaps with the second region and the third region. And do you remember they already draw the second region for you? This one, right? And the equation is actually y equals x plus 10. Yeah, you remember this one? Like the one they already draw for you one. Yeah, this one, right? Y equal x plus 10, bigger one, mah. Yeah, that's why they lower atas. So if you want the region to overlap these two, it will be here. It will not be here. It will not be here. Like down here. Because the second line, the one they draw already, the one is they already shade the region is up here. Okay. So the overlap region is here. Okay, but it's not over yet because there's one more line. There's one more line. So we have to consider the one more line. What is the coordinate? 0, 0 and y equals 10x. Okay. 0, 0 I know is here. But for the other point, how? I have to find another point lah. So y equals 10x, right? That's the equation. So the x you can start with anything here. 5, 10, 15, anything, right? But if I start with 30, I'll get 300. That's not good because my y started 300. So maybe I start with 9 lah. Because my highest is 90 mah. So maybe I can start with 9 or maybe 8. Yeah, 8 is fine. Because 8 times 10 is 80. So now your x is 8, your y is 80. So now you can plot 8, 80. Okay, where's 8? Okay, 10. If I minus 1 quota is, okay, the difference here is 5, right? 10 minus 5 is 5. And then 5 divide 10 is 0 0.5. So 10 minus 1 quota is 9.5 because you minus 0 0.5. And then minus lagi is 9. And then minus lagi is 8. So this is 8. Yeah. So 10 minus 4 quota is 8. But I have to plot at 80. So 10 minus 4 quota here at 80 here. Okay, let me double check. 10 minus 2 quota is 9, minus 2 quota is 8. Yeah, so here. And make sure you plot at 80. Alright, so now it's time to draw the line already. So join with 0, 0. Okay, let's go. Bam. Oh, and also it's solid line, right? Why solid line? Well, because it's other equal lah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, correct. So this one, let's put it nicely. Okay, now it's time to write the equation. So let's check what's the equation. Oh, I forget to write this. This one is x8, y80. Okay, the equation is 10x equals y. Okay, 10x equals y. Or you can say y equals 10x lah, is the same thing. Okay. Okay, now the next step, you know what to do? Label the region R, right? Okay, they actually never say shade the region R. You can see they said construct and label the region R. So let's just follow the instruction and just label R. So we'll just write the R, huh? And I'll tell you where is the R. It has to be here. It has to be here. You know why? Because the first line they already said is smaller, right? So it's either down here. So it's like here, 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 like that, right? So your R can be here, can be here, can be here, can be here. But I know it won't be here because the second inequality is above this line. Yeah, it's above this black color line. That is why I erased here and here lah. Okay. And then what about the third inequality? The third inequality is this line, and they said smaller. Yeah, it's smaller. That's why it's here. Okay. Because if you look at the third inequality, it's 10x bigger or equals y, right? Okay, even though it's bigger, but you have to shade below the line because your y is on the right side. Your y is positive on the right side. So your eyes have to take out from here. And when you take out from here, it becomes smaller. So that's why, right? So remember this very important. Always tengok dari y positive. Okay, tengok dari y positive. Okay. Okay, so now we are done with the shading part. So now we can do the next part lah. Okay, so C done already, right? Construct and label, yeah, done already. Okay, now let's do the D1. Okay, using the graph constructed in C, answer the following question. Actually, what they mean is use the shaded region. Yeah, because after they always like to ask you use the shaded region to find something else. Right? Okay, number one, the maximum number of maximum number of employees that can be hired by the factory if the number of supervisor is 10% of the number of operator. Wait, supervisor 10% of operator, isn't that the same with what they write here? Supervisor 10% operator. So I think it's the same with this one, right? So the inequality will be same with this one lah, which is 10x equals y, right? That means the equation here is 10x equals y also. And then you will find coordinate and then plot in the line also. But they're asking for maximum number of employees, right? But you don't have, I don't think you have to find point already because you do here already, right? 10x equals y 0, 0, 8, 80. So I can just straight away go to the line and get the maximum. So this is your shaded region, this triangle, and your line is this line right here. The 10x equals y, this line. So the maximum will be where? So you will go here. Okay, this one is the minimum lah. This one. Yeah, the first contact point with the shaded region. But since they want maximum, you should keep going up until it reach this bucu right here. Right? Okay, this bucu is a bit hard to read. So I think I will take this corner. Yeah, this one down here. Because you want to make sure your corner is inside the shaded region and it cannot have decimal one. Okay. So I think this is the point I will take. Okay. Okay, let me show you a method to check your answer. Come, I show you. You can do simultaneous equation. Okay, so let's say you are doing this in your exam and you are not confident, right? You are not sure whether your answer is correct or not. You can do like that. So this, you can see this point is the intersection between this line and this line. So you can use these two line, take the equation of this line and do the simultaneous. All right, so here says y equals 10x. So you sub inside 3x plus 2y equals 160. And then this one is 10x. Yeah, yeah, because I'm trying to find the intersection point. So I can just do simultaneous. Okay, 2 times 10 is 20 plus 3 is 23x equals 160. And to get your x, it will be 160 divided 23. So my calculator give me 6.956 like that. So that's your x, 6.9 something. Okay. So what do you think? If your 5 is here, 6 is okay, this one is 5 plus 2 quarter is 6. And then this one is 7, right? 7. So it's 6.96. Okay, wait. Let's find out the y coordinate. So I'll use the answer button times 10. So when I use the answer button times 10, I will get 69.6. So it's like 6.96 and then the y coordinate is 69.6. So of course we cannot take this because the xy represents bilangan supervisor, yeah, bilangan orang. So you cannot take decimal, right? So that's why we so now we know lah. The corner is actually not exactly on the right on the right spot. It's actually somewhere at here 6.96, 69.6. So now you know that you have to take another point, right? So which point you will take? This one. Okay, this one. Okay, why not take this? Because this is already outside the shaded region. You have to make sure it's inside the shaded region. So you can take this. This one cannot because this one outside already, right? So actually this one I can take. And also it has no decimal. Because if you read this point, the x coordinate is at where? It's at 5 plus 2 quarter plus 2 quarter. So it's 7. Yeah, this one is 7. And then the y coordinate is 70 turun 1 quarter, which is 69. Yeah. So if you take 769, it would be inside the shaded region. Okay. Yeah. And that would be the maximum lah. Okay, but the Solan said maximum, they want to find maximum x or maximum y. They want maximum number of employees, right? But if you tengok balik your xy is the supervisor and operator. So that means they want to find the jumlah for both lah. They want to find maximum number of employees means you have to add them together. But I will write it like this. I'll write x maximum equals first, and then y maximum equals, and then only I write maximum employees. Okay. All right. So what's the x maximum? As you can see from the graph, it's 769. 7 is the x, and then 69 is the y. So the maximum employees is 7 plus 69, 70, 76. Yeah. So that's the answer. All right. So that's how I would do it. So let's continue with question 2. All right. I think this one is the slide question lah. So the factory will pay an overtime allowance for 8 ringgit per hour for operator and 16 ringgit for supervisor. And then by drawing the objective function line, find the maximum amount of the overtime allowance per hour to be paid by the factory. Okay, they want to find maximum amount of overtime allowance, but don't find maximum amount of overtime allowance first. Let's find out the total amount first. Yeah, the total amount of overtime allowance first. Okay, so to get the total amount of overtime allowance, we need to use the 8 ringgit and 16 ringgit lah, because that's the overtime allowance. But 8 ringgit is for operator. So operator is X or Y? Okay, you tengok balik lah, your arrow. So operator is Y. I see what you did there. Very sneaky, this guy. So it's like they try to make this, they write this first, but this one is Y, right? So imagine if you never check which one X, which one Y, and then imagine you write 8X plus 16Y, then wrong already. Yeah, wrong already. Yeah, it will affect your answer. If you write 8X, 16Y, it's actually 8Y plus 16X. Because 8 ringgit is for per hour is for operator, and operator is Y, and supervisor is X. That's why it's important to check which one is X, which one is Y. That's why the way I teach my student is I always tell them to draw the arrow. Even though this one has no marks, but always, yeah. And if you are my student, you know already this one I always tell you in the class, right? I always said, tengok betul-betul. Okay, I always tell my students like, tengok betul is 8X or 8Y. Okay, yeah. Alright, so for this is 16X plus 8Y, and then now the next step is you have to write down 16X plus 8Y, and you have to find out the LCM. LCM means lowest common multiple, or in bahasa Melayu, gandaan sepunya terkecil. So what is the lowest common multiple for 8 and 16? 16 lah, because 16 can divide with both these numbers. Okay, so I'll use 16, and then now I will find coordinate, and then I will draw the line. Okay, and that line, that's the objective function line lah. Okay, let's sub x0 y0. Okay, when x is 0, 0 times 16 is 0, so your y is 16 divided 8 is 2. When your y is 0, 0 times 8 is 0, 16 divided 16 is 1, right? Okay, if I look at 0, 2, 1, 0, I can plot. It's here and like here, okay? But I don't like it because the point is very near, and yeah, it's like, and we can fix this, right? We can fix this. How we can fix this? Very easy, just add a 0 here. Because when you add a 0 here, this becomes 20, this becomes 10. Yeah. So this number, actually you can write any number you want, okay? But usually we write number that can divide with 8 and 16 lah, so that you can end up with a point that is like easy to plot. That's why I said always choose the LCM. Okay, and we can add the 0 if the point is too near. Okay, 0, 20, 10, 0, this one is good because the line will be much more bigger, right? Yeah, so it's like that and then like that, right? 0, 20, 10, 0. Okay, now I will draw the dotted line. Okay, I will use green color line to represent the dotted line. Okay. So when you draw it, you use dotted line. You don't go and use the green color pen. I'm just using green color to show you that it's a dotted line. But in exam, you have to draw dotted line. Okay. Okay, what's the equation of this line? 16x plus 8y equals 160. Yeah, because I end up adding a zero, right? Yeah, I end up adding zero here. That's why it's 160. So now you can find the maximum, what is it? Amount of overtime allowance. I'll just write maximum amount lah. Just keep it simple. So it'll be 16x plus 8y. And now we have to sub the xy with the maximum point. And the maximum point, how will you get it? You will use the objective function line, the green color line. You will slide. You will slide. What is slide? It means you push the line lah. So I will duplicate this. So the way you do the sliding is you start to slide atas because you want maximum, right? So you slowly slide. And when you slide atas, make sure the line is parallel. Yeah. So the way I teach my student is I always teach them to use another ruler down here to guide your short ruler. Okay. So it means you put your short ruler here and then the long ruler is here and then you use the long ruler to guide you. Okay. Yeah, because the line has to be parallel. Yeah. Right. It means your hand has to be steady all the way. Okay. So, but I'm using laptop. So as you can see, this is the first corner that I meet, but that's not the maximum. Right. So I keep going until it reach here lah. Yeah. So remember, the line has to be parallel all the way when you slide. Okay. So definitely it's this one. So let me zoom in for you. So this is the point at here, right? Okay, let me fix my line because my line is kind of is not in the right place. Yeah, so this is like the point. Okay, if I read this coordinate, it will be where? It will be at 30 minus 2 kotak, which is 29, minus lagi 2 kotak is 28. So it's 28. And then the y coordinate is 40, turun 2 kotak. But the difference here is 10. 10 divided 10 is 1. So minus 1 is 38. That's your coordinate. Okay, what if you not confident? You can also check your answer, right? You remember I teach you just now how to check your answer? You can do simultaneous, right? Okay, tell me, this point is the intersection point of which line? This line and this line, right? So why not you take these two equation and do simultaneous, right? Yeah, you can use this method to check your answer. So let's do it fast. Y equals x plus 10. I'll just use substitution method. 3x plus 2y equals, wait, hold on. Yeah, 160. And then your y is x plus 10. So 3x plus 2x plus 20 equals 160. 5x equals 160 minus 20 is 140. And then x is 140 divided 5. And you get 28. But what about your y? X plus 10. So 28 plus 10, 38. So as you can see, I use the substitution method. I get 28, 38. That means the intersection point is at 28, 38. That means this is correct lah. Okay. Yeah, so you can use this method to check answer later in the SPM when you're doing the SPM. Yeah, it's very useful to do it like that because then you can, how to say, check your answer. Okay, 28, 38 is the point I will use for my maximum amount. So I'll just sub inside like that and then tekan calculator and then I get my answer. So the answer is 752. Okay. Okay, I know the schema is different. I think they use 27, 38, right? Yeah, but I think the schema is wrong. Okay. Yeah, you should take 28, 38. Okay. The only time where you will choose another point is when your point have decimal or maybe it's a dash line. Okay, I repeat one more time. Only when your point, your bucu, only when your bucu punya point coordinate is decimal or it's a dash line or it's on a dash line, then only you have to, how to say, take another point. Maybe somewhere near, but it has to be inside the shaded region lah. Okay. But 28, 38, as you can see, it has no decimal and also it's not on a dash line. There's no dash line here. So actually that's the maximum lah, 28, 38. Yeah, so that's why that point is the point we will take, right? So this is how I will do it. Okay, that's all. I will continue. Okay, 14 I won't do because this is the kinematics, right? So we are at the last question now, 15. So let's go. This is from 4 chapter 10, index. All right, table 2 shows the information related to 3 ingredients used in the production of brownie cakes. So you need 3 ingredients to make the cake. And then what is this? 180, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one, they already write here is price index. So this is the I lah. So this is the I index for 2023 based on 2021. Okay. And then this one is I for 24 based on 21. This one is I for 24 based on 2023. Okay. Always write the more recent year on top. Okay. Yeah, the recent year is always today's atas. So 2024, 23, 24 atas, 23 bawah. Okay. Okay, weightage, this one is W lah. And we usually need the weightage when we are doing composite index. Okay, yeah. So composite index, we will use this later. Okay, A says find the value of X, Y, Z. Okay, this one I'll just do atas. Okay, I think I will use the I formula for this. But no, because I formula is price divide price times 100, right? This one is P1, P0, and the P0 will be the price of the base year. But the problem with this is they never give us any price here. Did you see any price here? No. So I don't think I can use this method to find the XYZ, even though the XYZ is price index. So I have to use another method. And actually, I know already which method. You can see it involves 3 years, right? You have 2021, 2023, 2024. So 3 years, this is the time you can do the smiley face method. So draw a smiley face like this, and then you write down all the year here. Okay, start with the oldest year lah. So the least recent year is 2021, followed by 23, followed by 24. Okay, and then let's say you want to find X. So you will focus on these three numbers. So the X is the price index for 23, 21. So it's this one. So that's your X. And then for 258, that will be 24 based on 21. So that's this line right here. And then the 120 is the 24, 23 like this. Okay, how to find X? Okay, the formula is always the longest line, the line yang bawah, which is the longest line, equals to atas darab atas bahagi 100. Yeah, that's the formula. Okay, for the smiley face is always the bawah punya line, which is the longest line, equals to atas darab atas bahagi 100. So now you can find X. 258 times 100 divide 120. Okay, the answer is 215. Okay, I think I will write it at the diagram at the same time also, because I might use it later for my part B, part C later. Okay, let's do Y. So my Y also same ah. I do a smiley face also. Okay, let's draw a line to separate. So this time also the year will be same 21, 23, 24. But this time when I want to find Y, I have to look at the ingredient A punya price index. So the 180 same lah right here. Y is 24, 21, so it's here. 105 is 2423, so it's here. And remember the formula is always the bawah line, which is the longest line, equals to atas darab atas divide 100 like that. So what is your Y? 189. So that is your Y. Okay, and you can write it here also. Okay, for the last one, okay, I need space. I need space. I need space. So let's make this smaller. All right. Okay, now how to find the last one? So the last one is Z, right? So Z also same, do smiley face. So I'll just draw one. So it's 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. Okay, so for Z, I will refer for the ingredient C punya price index. So 200 is 2321. So here. And then 216 is 2421. Okay. And then Z is here. Okay, how to find Z? So I told you, right? The formula is always the longest line, which is the bawah line, equals to atas darab atas 200 times Z divide 100. Okay, to get Z, you simply take 216 times 100 divide 200. So this one, the answer is 108. So that is the answer. Okay, I'll write it here also. In case I may use it, in case I later need to use it, right? This one is 189. Okay, I'm done with part A. It's only worth 3 marks. Let's continue with B1. So B1, I think I'll do it here. Okay, calculate the composite index for the production cost of the brownie cake in the year 2024 based on 2023. So composite index ma. So you'll use the weightage later lah. Okay, so I will do it here. B1. So the composite index symbol is like this, I, and then you put a line. And the year is 24 based on 23, right? Yeah, make sure you write the year. Okay, now let's use the composite index formula. The formula is you take the price index times with weightage and then divide with the total weightage. But there's so many price index, which one you have to take? The 24 based on 23 punya lah. This one lah. Yeah, because you are finding composite index for 24, 23. So of course you will take the price index for 24, 23 also. So 105 times 5 plus with 120 times 7 plus with 108 times 3 divide with the total weightage 5 plus 7 plus 3. Okay. Okay, the total bawah here is 5 plus 3, 8 plus 7, 15. And then the total atas is 1689. And when you divide, you will get 112.6. So that is the composite index in the year 2024 based on 2023. Okay. Okay. Done already. Now let's do question 2. I know I need space. Where to do it? Okay, I'll do it here lah. B2. Okay, let's read. Hence, calculate the production cost of the brownie cake in the year 2024 if the production cost in the year 2023 is 55 ringgit. Okay, as you can see, they give you price and ask you to find another price in another year, right? So definitely you will use the first formula, the price index formula, okay, which is I equals to P1 over P0 times 100. Okay, so remember, whenever they ask us to find price or cost or RM lah, you will definitely use this formula because this is the only formula that has price inside in it. This is the only formula that has price inside inside this formula. Okay, yeah. So this is the only way to do it. Okay, but of course your P punya tahun has to be matched with the tahun here lah. 23, 24. So I always tell you like the more recent year have to write on top. So the more recent year today's atas 24 and this is 23. And don't forget you actually have the price in 2023 55. And the P24 you have to find it later. So tell me if you want to find P24 later, what you need to have? The I lah. Yeah, you need to have this lah, right? But sir, the I you want to put which one? There's so many to choose from. So many, so many. Okay, I'll tell you something. If you choose any of this number, wrong. Okay, wrong. If you take any of this number is wrong. All this number is wrong because this is 24 based on 23, right? But why you cannot take this one? This one is 24 based on 23. Why cannot? Because they never say it's ingredient A, B, or C. They say it's the brownie cake. So you have to take the composite index. You have to take the composite index because composite index is like the mean, the average, right? The average of this. So since they never mention A, B, or C, you have to take the composite index. So it's 112.6. Here also 112.6. So now to find the price in 2024, I just tekan 112.6, divide 100 times 55. Okay. So now you get the answer 61.93. But this one write RM lah because it's cost. Okay. Okay, now imagine if I change the question. I said production cost of ingredient A. Then you can take 105. Yeah, because the year is 24, 23. But if the question got mentioned A, then yeah, you can take this, right? Or if they mention B, then you take this one lah. Mention C, then take this one. But if they don't mention, then you have to take the composite index. Okay. All right, I'm done with the B2. Now is the last part, C. All right, what it says here, the cost of making a brownie cake is expected to increase by 50% from the year 23 to 25. Okay, if they tell you the price increase in the percentage, it means you can write down the index. So the index is how much? Increase 50% means definitely 150. And let's write the year also, 23 to 25. So the more recent year always write on top, and then 23 write bawah lah. And actually, this is the composite index because they said cost of making brownie, right? It's not for ingredient A, B, or C. It's the whole brownie. So yeah, it's the composite index. Okay. Okay. Next thing, calculate the cost of making a brownie cakes in the year 2025. So if they want to find cost, so cost means the price lah. So I'll use P to represent cost, but in 25, and then equals to question mark because this is what they want to find. And then if the cost 2024 60.5, so P 2024 60.5. Okay, I told you just now, right? If they want to find price, confirm you use which formula? The first formula, which is I equals P over P times 100. But your P punya tahun have to match with this 25, 24. And the more recent year, always write on top, 25 atas and then 24 bawah. So what do you think your I? It has to be 25, 24 also, right? And also it has to be the composite index because they never mention ingredient A, B, or C. It means these are all the average composite index. Okay. Okay. Actually, now you realize you can't find the price for 25. You know why? Because you don't have this. Yeah, you don't have the composite index. Okay, you have the price 24, 60.5. They want okay, no problem. But you don't have this. You don't tell me the 150 right here. No, no, no. It's not correct. Because the 150 is for 25, 23. I need the 25, 24 composite index. So this one is 25, 23 composite index. So definitely I don't have this right now. Okay, but we can find it by using the smiley face method again, because I have another composite index. You remember just now we did it at the B1? Yeah, it's the composite index, right? So remember the smiley face, you can use it for you can use it to find price index, the I, but you can also use it to find composite index. But make sure if you're using it to find composite index, make sure the other two also you put in the composite index lah. Okay, let's write the year first. You have 23, 25, and 24. So 23 has to be here, and then 24, 25 like this. And the 150 is 25, 23, but it's the composite index. So later here also, it will be composite index, right? Okay, the other one I have is the 112.6. That's also composite index, but it's 24, 23. So 24, 23, 112.6. So here 112.6. So what do you think is this? It's the composite index for 25, 24 lah, which is what I need here, right? So later I get already, I just put inside here, then I can get the cost, right? Okay, I told you already, the smiley face formula is always what? The bawah line, which is the longest line, is always equals to atas darab atas 112.6 multiply with, okay, this one I can call it X, or you want to call it composite index like that, also can. The composite index for 25, 24, divide 100. Yeah, and then how to get your composite index for 25, 24? I press calculator lah. 150 times 100 divide 112.6. Okay, I got 133.21. Actually got a lot of decimal place, but I just write two decimal place. All right, the 133.21 I write here. Okay, now I'll use the answer button. Yeah, I'll use the answer button because there's a lot of decimal place here, right? So I'll just tekan answer divide 100 times 60.5. Okay, so I actually get 80.595. But since this is RM, we will write two decimal place only. So 80.595, which means 80.60 lah. Okay, so I'll just write it here, 80.60. Okay, make sure you write RM because that's the cost price. Okay, okay, I'm done with the whole paper. This is the whole explanation for the Terengganu Trial 2025 Addmaths paper 2. Okay, okay, if you all want more, subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next video. Okay, bye bye.